At the top of this game, we discuss X cards, lines, and veils, and because I think it's interesting and you rarely see it discussed in the context of an actual game, I'm leaving it in, but if you want to skip it, check the timestamps in the description below. However, we then, perhaps ironically, go on to play one of the most comedically violent war crime heavy games I've ever played in. We are Space Marines in the aftermath of bloody conflict trying to clean up a war-torn town with little regard for civilian casualties. It's all done with humour, but I would totally understand if someone found it distasteful to be joking about such things, so consider this your jumping off point if that sounds a bit much for you.
Hello again and welcome back to my channel. I'm not in the hot seat today. Fiona is. We'll get to her in a second. Shocked and appalled. We're playing another TTRPG. If you are not familiar with my channel, I don't know when this video is going. I'm wearing a Christmas shirt just in case this video goes out around Christmas.
Next
and
Christmas.
Then everyone else looks like a fool. And I'm like, yep, I definitely planned this.
Should have thought of this. We should all wear different seasons.
Yes, just so we can blend in whenever this video happens to go out. So this is my channel where I am basically doing things about role-playing games, board games, filmmaking, writing. I'm a writer, or trying to be a writer. Being a writer just basically means you're desperately trying to get someone to take your writing seriously. So basically this channel is going to be a combination of things that I want to do, and one of those things I want to do is to launch another channel that's going to be tabletop RPGs like this, actual plays in a live format. So we are testing that formula this weekend on these recordings. We recorded one yesterday, which maybe it was fun to play. I don't know how well the recording went, but we've learned from those mistakes, technical mistakes, and we're back again to play. This time I am a player.
Who's the boss though, Kristian?
Who's the boss? Who is the boss?
He already gave it away. It's Fiona.
I did.
I was trying to. Okay, fine.
Segue.
I'm going to pass over to Fiona, Games Master Extraordinaire, but I'll let her introduce herself and the game.
For the benefits, we've got some new players today as well. We'll go through just some safety tools that we're going to use in the game, should we need them. We'll do some boundaries and foundries as well. We'll do it really, really quick, should be about 5 minutes tops. But essentially, we're going to use something called the X card. I know quite a few people are familiar with it, but just in case you're not, the X card is if a topic or a subject comes up in a scene and you, the player, don't feel comfortable with it, you could just nope out of that scene, essentially. If you can do a visual sort of X with your hands, because then we can all see it, then me as the GM, it's up to me to move the scene along or to replay the scene without that element in it. You never ever have to justify what that element is, but the only question I might ask as the GM is like, which part of it? And I say that because sometimes it gets chaotic in RPGs, and sometimes it might be I might think it's one thing, but it's actually something else. But I will never ask you to justify that. Topics could be, from the big things, harassment, violence, or anything like that, to something small like, oh, I don't like people smoking, or anything like that as well. So that's the main one, to stop the scene, and so that we can just check in with each other, which is good. We'll go on to lines and veils. So again, lines and veils. That is basically, lines is topics that are off the table completely, that we will not explore in the story at all, which we can go around as well on that. Veils are topics that can be in the story, but that's not the focus of the story. They can be off camera, or we can pan away, etc. And what I'm going to do, for example, for me, I'll put my lines and veils out first as an example. So lines include no sexism, I was going to say no homeopathy. That's not the word.
But we don't want that either.
We want proper medicine only.
Proper medicine only. No sort of racism, no sort of isms, essentially. That's my usual go-to in any sort of RPG in general. A veil for me is no harm to animals, necessarily. We had a check-in the other day, which I really appreciated. But essentially, if you're not sure that a line or veil is about to be crossed, just check in. There's no, we can always just check in and be like, yes, no, and move on. If it's something that you don't want to talk about, we X-card it, essentially.
The line for Alan's benefit was that we were feeding a cat whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah. We couldn't harm an animal, but we determined it was okay to drug it.
It was also, it was also the future.
It was a weird game.
You had to be there. So I'm going to go around from the way I'm seeing it. So I'm going to go from Face, Emily, Kristian, and Alan. To just, if you take a moment just to say if you've got any lines of veils and any accommodations we can do for today.
As far as I'm concerned, as I don't have any specific lines or veils or anything like that. However, I am very much on Fiona's side. I play tabletop RPGs. I want to escape. I want to have fun. I don't necessarily want to go to the darker side.
Sure.
I'm more than happy to go to if that's prepared and that's all agreed upon. But the majority of the time, I want to play RPGs to have fun, to smile, to laugh. And not have to worry about the isms, racism, sexism, misogyny, transphobia, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm assuming I don't want to use the phrase typical everyday person, but if I'm going to use that from a legal perspective, what an average everyday person on the street would find that's abhorrent, no thank you. That's me.
Perfect.
Fairly generic.
Thank you, and thank you for stating them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm same page as that. One note that I will say, just because I haven't really had games run by you before that much, I have aphantasia. I can't build things in my mind. You could describe a scene that's beautiful, that means nothing to me. So if I have to ask a bunch of questions and ask you repetitively, like, wait, so what is happening right now? Where is this? And like ask a bunch of questions, it's just because
As an accommodation, then, perfectly. I'm happy. Please feel free to ask questions.
I don't know if you've ever told me that. And I've been running D&D for you for like 2 years.
Have you not? That's why I'm always asking questions. And you're just like, yes. And then your patron like gives you this image. I'm like, okay, cool.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Well, now we're checking in on that. So thank you so much.
That's
for
why
that,
we should film our.
Very good. Kristian.
I've actually thought about this a lot since the conversation yesterday. I guess it's a slightly odd one for me. Like I don't, kind of you guys. I don't have anything specific, but obviously there's something that bond things. But at the same time, I like comedy. Mm-hmm. So often my veils can be pushed if it's in the line of like it being silly.
Yes.
So the one I brought up yesterday is torture. I don't get along with that at all. Mm-hmm. My players start to engage in it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to either skirt around it or just make sure it goes badly for you just because I don't like that you're doing it.
Absolutely.
But for like comedy purposes, someone doing it badly or like incompetently in some way or in some humorously bad way, that works for me. So there's like, I think there's that element of like you're saying for fun.
But that's almost like insulting the concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is the game we're playing today. It's all about that. So, sure. Cool. Well, thank you for that, Kristian. Appreciate it. Alan, we'll go to you. So is there any topics that you want off the table that we don't want to discuss today that hasn't been already put in?
I can't think of anything.
Right, that's fine.
Off the top of my head.
Perfect. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll state again as well, if something does come up, and this is for all of you as well, and you're like, oh, actually, I don't like that, that's the thing. Exactly, say. And we'll go, cool, and we'll X-card it, or we'll pause and we'll do that. That's great. Yeah. Now,
I'd be interested in the setting now that you're in.
Yeah, no, I know, I'm just like, so the final thing I do, so we've done the X-cards, we've done the safety tools, we've done boundaries, and I appreciate what a lot of people come to us and go, oh, but I want to play, I want to have fun. And when we're doing all this admin stuff, it can drain the energy out of the room. Because we want to play together, we want to have fun, but you're like, oh, but I don't want to hurt people's feelings. And they said this, and all I can think about is this. Totally get that, not a problem. So in improv, introduced to me by Katie Shute, who's a great improviser, and she's got it from her book and somewhere else, is Foundries. So this is where I would invite the players to share something that they really love to happen in an RPG game. And it can be something as big as, I want huge explosions that we walk away from, or I want some person at some point, doesn't have to be a character or an NPC, to have a silly voice. It can be as big or small as whatever. Or it could just be, I want meaningful relationships. It's something that brings you joy. It sparks joy in you in the role-playing game. And the idea behind that is that if such an opportunity comes up, you can go, oh, that's Alan's thing. He really wants this. We can help you get towards that aspect of your game. Just because then you're like, oh, you saw this thing and you did that for me. And it just as a way of doing teamwork and all that sort of thing. Doesn't mean we force it. I know, for example, there was someone who goes, I really love to be able to sing. And eventually they're like, well, I guess we're having a musical. Like, if it comes up organically, that's the thing. And again, what I would state highly on this is that you don't have to think of something. It's just more of an opportunity to open it up. So I'll go first again, and then we'll go back around again. For me, I love challenges. I love it when my players are like, okay, here's a solution we put together. And I'm like, let me have 1 second to think about it. Okay, I will never go, no, that's so silly. Like, we'll go through the rules of it, but I love big, ridiculous plays. And certainly with games like by Grant Howitt, the bigger, the better, right? Be silly. I want you to really embody these characters and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan of questions as well, because it's usually because I've not said something, or I thought I've said something. So your thing about I might ask questions, perfect. That's good for me. So I'll invite Face to please show your Foundries.
We had it very much yesterday. It was I love enjoying it. And yesterday, with some beautiful moments with the people who were here yesterday, I had laughed so much I got a headache. So that's for me. I just want to enjoy the spectacle of watching some very talented people and me come up with something which is just brilliant and fantastic. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Just watching everybody at work and just loving every aspect of it. That's what I want to build off of. I want to laugh at the beautiful ridiculousness that we come up with so much I'm begging you to stop because I'm crying.
Perfect. I think
that's my Foundry. That's what I love for this sort of thing.
Perfect. Fantastic.
My favorite part of RPGs that I would love to see today, and every time in general, is creating inside jokes that are then called back later.
Like the videos.
Oh yeah. My favorite thing is like when you're like at the end and you're like, how do I solve this problem? And then you're like, all right, that joke that we made like 2 hours ago, that's the way to solve it. We will stop eventually referring to the thing that we did yesterday, which might not ever.
We'll never.
You missed it. But like we solved the whole thing at the end being like, free coat man, that's how it is. And that's beautiful to me.
Oh dear.
Fantastic. Kristian, any Foundries that you can think of?
I mean, I'm 99% of the time I'm the GM, so my main Foundry is that I would love the players to just talk amongst themselves, not because I don't want to do anything, but because I love the interaction between characters at the table. Not just because I don't want to do another NPC. I love playing NPCs. I love playing NPCs. But it's fascinating to watch other people kind of bounce off of each other from the GM's.
Sure, but would I guess, because this is maybe the first time you're playing as well, would you like it to have a bit of a spotlight moment yourself as a player as well, or you're not too fussed about that?
Not especially. I'm a bit more. I think that I saw a video once was kind of ranking what types of players there are, and I'm a little bit more of an observer who will then kind of.
It's good to know.
Absorb everything and then
come up with a solution right at the end. Oh God, why didn't we think of that?
Perfect. No, that's good then, because we're not going to be like, so what do you like trying to get you in? Maybe we'll let you sit a little bit, and then you can go, here's my plan. That could be something as well. Cool. Great.
Solves everything for us in a single sweep, and we go.
You've done the build-ups.
Yeah. I mean, I read the sheet for this game. I don't think that's the kind of characters we're playing.
Oh wait, you read the rules. And Alan, is there anything we can do to make this game spark joy for you? Anything we can do for that?
I can't think of anything specific. Everything everyone said so far sounds great.
Yeah, perfect.
So go with that.
We can do that. All right. So that's X cards. That's Foundries. The only thing I will say in terms of this game, so I'll do a proper introduction to it, but for you, the players, the only note I have is that some of you have read the rules, that's great. Whatever comes into your guts in terms of what you're role playing, do it 150%. Big characters, that's what this game is. Feel free to have the emotional stuff, but turn it up to 11. If you're quiet, that's also fine as well, but anything big, that's going to get a big reaction, and it looks really good on that front. Again, there's no problems with asking questions and stuff, but anything that comes to your mind, I need to fix this, how can I do this? Go for it. Go on your first instinct, don't question it, because these guys don't question stuff. Right? All right, so we're ready to play a game of Nice Marines, which is a role-playing game by Grant Howitt, which many people will know. I appreciate, Alan, you had no idea when I came in. So essentially, I just want to quickly plug his stuff. So Grant Howitt is an amazing tabletop RPG designer. He's done stuff like Goblin Quest, has helped on Paranoia, the not most recent edition, doesn't matter. But he's also done a thing called Die as well, so very much a really good RPG designer, specifically because he writes one-page one-shots, and every month he puts out on his Patreon a one-page one-shots, which encourages people who are new to DMing perhaps, or want a break from their normal heavy games to do something silly, and that is what this game is. Nice Marines, which I'm very excited to play, and I'm very excited to go around with you guys about it. So let's go around and just quickly introduce the players, if that's okay. We'll go around in the same direction that we talked about before. So I'll introduce myself. So my name is Fiona, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm running Nice Marines for this. So I run 2 podcasts. I run the What Am I Rolling podcast, which is a twice monthly RPG one-shot podcast. We do different RPG systems, so sometimes it's one-page one-shots, sometimes it's like Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, which is incredibly difficult, and thankfully I didn't have to run that one. But we do all different types of genres, and it's just different people trying different systems. Not necessarily D&D. However, if you do want to talk about D&D, well, I've got a different podcast for you. I'll just put that on there. So the DM's
I'll
Book Club,
edit, like effect in post.
like my little logo.
Little DM's Book Club logo.
Yeah. So hang on. Where? And DM's Book Club. So DM's Book Club is a weekly book club podcast where we talk about some Dungeons and Dragons and discuss how we might input it into our role-playing games. What I say is that you don't have to like Dungeons and Dragons to listen to it. It's just like, here's an interesting idea. We're going to change it completely and put it in different things. We've talked to different RPG designers. We also done some actual plays going through as well, using the sort of things and then changing them completely. So that's Where, so What Am I Rolling, and the DM's Book Club, which you can listen wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm going to pass it over to Face.
Cool, thank you. So yes, my name is Face. Clearly not my actual name, but that's the name I've used whilst gaming for the last... Oh, I'm not going to say it out loud because it makes me feel really old. But yes, so my name is Face.
50, I think it's 50.
It's to be fair, it's
1,000 years.
It's at least 3 decades I have been using the name Face when I've been gaming, which just makes me feel, yes, thank you. So I use he, him pronouns the vast majority of the time. I do identify as bigender, so occasionally there is the off chance you'll see me in my female presentation. You'll know I'll have hair and no beard. I very much like Kristian, I am a DM or a GM 99% of the time, so being able to play with such talented individuals is an absolute delight for me. And I'm actually a professional DM at Rolldark, so rolldark.co.uk is a game master agency, so if you are interested and you want to actually play with myself or other like-minded DMs, check them out and you can jump onto one of the games. So yeah, that's me.
Hello, my name is Emily. My pronouns are she, her. I don't have anything to plug, but you said to do a recommendation.
But you do have dramatic arm movements, which is almost as good.
I have really dramatic arm movements, except for I won't go in front of Fiona.
Oh no!
If I poke Fiona in the face. Anyway, Fiona said if we don't have anything to plug, we can do recommendation. Recommendation, unprepared casters. Also, unprepared casters, if you're watching, please cast me. I would love to do it.
What is Unprepared Casters for those people who are not in the know?
It's a Dungeons & Dragons podcast. They do short arcs. Each arc is independent of each other. They're usually 6 to 8 episodes, and they're all in the same world, but they have different characters, and sometimes the characters are sort of related to each other, sometimes they're not. And it's just really funny. There are different genres. Sometimes it's a high fantasy, typical D&D. Sometimes they're running a heist. Sometimes it's gritty survival. Sometimes it's a Feywild adventure. Anyway, it's very good.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Kristian.
Whoa, my name's Kristian.
Yay!
I'd like to plug this channel that you're already on. That was a waste of time, you're already here. Like and subscribe, do all the things, press the bell. The bell does something on YouTube, I don't know what. I have not done my research. It's a thing, you get notifications. But yeah, no, I'd like to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this video and my other videos. You can find me talking about myself quite a lot probably on this channel, so please do check out my other stuff. I've got some video blog content where I'll be discussing D&D and movies and things like that. You can find me online at Kristian's Bane, name of the channel. That's my handle in most places, or as the One Bearded Man. That's my old handle, which has my old YouTube channel that has some very shaky, very dodgy board game reviews on it. But yeah, that's about it. Just plug that myself. You're already here. I don't know. Was that helpful? Was that helpful? Tell other people to watch as well.
Alan, is there anything
Have
you'd
a less
like to
aggressive
plug
approach.
No, give me more aggressive.
More aggressive, right? Right, I'm Alan. He, him. Right, now, I'll calm down on the aggression. No, nothing to plug.
Any recommendations?
Recommendations? If you're eating ice cream and you run out of spoons, I recommend Oreos. They're an excellent substitute.
Oh, that's actually the best thing that's been said today.
You will feel it in your heart immediately, but it's worth it.
So using Oreos
as a spoon, yes.
There's
wait,
nothing that we say today will be as good as that.
Are you twisting and unlocking and then taking it, or are you just a
Oh.
big?
I think it depends how many Oreos you've got. I recommend doing it as a full Oreo if you've got enough Oreos to last the ice cream.
Which is highly unlikely.
Wait, how often do you? When you say last the ice, how much ice cream do you normally have in one sitting?
Oh, I mean, it's a bowl full, surely.
I've also, because clearly, I'm not saying this is not a good idea because I'm saying it's a fantastic idea, but the problem is, what are the ice creams too hard? Because the Oreo is just gonna.
You have to wait for it to melt a little bit.
No, that's what I'm saying. You have to sit there
wouldn't work on
waiting
frozen
for
ice
the
We
ice
use
cream.
the second Oreo to cut it and scoop it onto the first Oreo.
Oh, nice.
Freeze your Oreos.
Or you rub 2 Oreos together to create a fire. No, never mind. No,
No.
we've probably gone too far.
Freeze the Oreos and then then you can chip at put them in a little stick
I'm
and
almost-
use it as an axe.
I almost want to have a frozen Oreo now to see what that's like.
Well, guys, that's the end of the episode.
We
Ice
talked
cream
about
roll.
Oreos and ice cream for 4 hours. And we
Other
had nothing
biscuits
left
are
to do.
available.
But why would you bother?
Why would you bother? All right, guys, are we ready to play Nice Marines?
Yes.
All right, I have the little intro that always begins like Grant Howitt one shot, so I'm going to read that out, and then we're going to go into character creation. So you guys are Space Marines, immortal giants, genetically engineered to be the perfect instrument of war. You and your squad mates are oath-sworn protectors of the Astral Commonwealth and one another. The iconic classed galaxy shivers in terror at the very mention of your name. However, support forces have not arrived following the recent liberation of a planet called Venice, leaving you in charge of a diplomatic envoy dedicated to rebuilding after the conflict. You have no idea how to do this. However, you've got 1 solar week until your superiors arrive to inspect the city, so get to it. All right, so as a sort of show of hands, who here knows a little bit about Warhammer?
I mean, I know that it's Space Marines with big chainsaws and
Okay.
shooty stuff.
Me and Alan literally met at Warhammer Club in middle school.
I like the fact
Yes, I think you're right.
we've got Warhammer team over here and Team Normal over here.
I know nothing.
If I recall, you were the Imperial? You had an Imperial
I had an Imperial Guard army.
Imperial Guard, I mean, I had a Chaos Marine army.
Yes.
So which side are we on?
We're on the other Space Marines.
We're the good guys, right?
Well, obviously, the Emperor!
There are no good guys in
I
Warhammer.
mean, Warhammer. Morality in Warhammer is very shady.
But as far as we're concerned, we're the good guys.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we think we're the good guys, and that's the important thing.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We're the good guys.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Yes.
So yeah, with this this sort of the amount of skill, we are definitely being accurate to the Warhammer universe. So anything that we say is canon, right? So we're now going to make our Space Marines. What I want you to do, I've given you a set of dice. You'll have a d20, a d12, a d10, 2 d8s, and 2 d6. What I want you to do, I've given you your approaches, which are basically your ways of doing stuff, and I want you to assign one of each to your approach. So, for example, your approaches, which I'll read out for the camera, are be nice to civilians, building and repairing things, gathering information, holding parades, impressing civilians, lifting heavy objects, and protecting civilians as well. So I want you to assign 1 dice value to each one of your skills.
Are we doing this in private or are we doing this as
yeah, should we have a...
I think you can have a chat about it. Yeah, go
I
for
think
it.
a range rather than us all being really good at lifting heavy stuff.
Is it worth explaining how the
I
dice
will.
work?
You know
Yes,
what?
please.
Thank you, other DM over there. So yes. So when we are assigning a dice level concept, basically you are all very confident Space Marines. You know, you're doing the Emperor's good work
The Emperor.
for the Emperor.
For the
That's not the voice of it.
As the voice.
So if you're starting at the lowest level as a D6, that is a cautious level of confidence.
Okay.
Going up as a D8, that is a practice level of confidence. A D10 is very keen. D12 is zealous. And then D20 is divinely ordained in your level of confidence.
I was born to do this.
Exactly.
Okay.
I was born to
born-
hold parades.
Yes.
One of us had to say it.
Is that what you? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So write that down. So you've got your D20 against holding parades. What's everyone else thinking?
Is there a problem that I have 2 d10s and 1 d8?
That is a
Probably.
problem. But it's fine. It's basically it's just a way to visualize it essentially.
There's more gates in that box if you would.
I've got more in there as well.
Do I need to roll 2 at once?
No.
Anytime?
No,
Okay,
it
I
was
will
just more of a
pretend I have
visual.
2.
It was just more of a visual thing,
okay.
just to help
It's
you
a
on this.
visual metaphor.
Yes,
I'll
exactly.
imagine that I have 2.
Yes. So
Also, can we just address the elephant in the room, which is the way that Emily stores her dice? She always stores them with the lowest number face up.
They're charging negatively, so they get it out of their system. So when you roll them, they're bored of being on 1.
But now your dice thinks that 1 is its home.
No, it gets it out of its system. It's scientifically proven.
You've read different scientific studies than I have.
Unprepared casters. Check it out.
This kind of quirkiness could be yours.
Gus and Haley, you know where to find me.
So, Face, what about you? Where are you putting your D20
I
or
think-
divinely ordained?
I think that I was divinely ordained to, oddly, despite my killer nature, being nice to civilians.
Ooh.
Because that's what I know. Because that's what I'm going
You're
to be all
overly
about.
confident. In
I'm
that. You're like,
overly
I can
confident.
do this.
I'm divinely determined.
Being nice to them.
Being nice to civilians, because that's what I'm supposed to do, you know.
Exactly. I forgot we had voices.
I have voices.
You have voices. Kristian, what are you thinking about your D20? Where would you put that?
I mean, I think I was built to build.
Built to build.
Built
so
to build.
building and repairing things. All right, put your D20 in there.
Very confident that I'm good at that.
What about in the game,
Just being,
Kristian?
yeah. I mean, mechanically, being confident that you're good at stuff in this game isn't necessarily the best way to
No,
approach.
no, not
But
at all.
yeah, I'm super sure that I can build and
You're
repair
super
anything.
sure.
I'm amazingly good at being nice to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
That's what you think. Yes.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah, all these things are like what you think is.
I'm
your
well
character.
aware.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
well
yes.
aware. Hello,
No.
peasant. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Alan, what about you?
I think, well, I'm not good at math, but one thing I'm pretty sure I am good at is impressing people.
Oh,
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go-
impressing civilians.
I'm going to go with a
Civilians.
D20 on
impressive.
impressive.
that's very impressive.
Very impressive.
Yeah,
Small golf clap. Golf
I
clap.
like this.
All
I feel
right.
validated.
All right, let's go down to the D12s. Anyone had any thoughts about where their D12s want to go in their approaches?
I think. Sorry, after you.
No, go for it.
I think
See
that
the hand
clearly
hovering.
being nice to civilians. I think clearly the next thing I've got to be is protecting civilians. Clearly
Right.
that goes hand in hand. I'll be nice and protect them.
So you're going for the charismatic.
I'm
route.
going for the. No, I'm going for the thinks he's
Yeah,
charismatic
of course.
approach.
Sorry, my bad. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, go for it.
So I put my D12 in the protecting civilians. Sorry to jump ahead of you.
That's fine. I'm ready.
I don't think it's fine.
We'll talk about this later. D12, gathering information.
Ooh,
Ooh.
nice. Love
Because,
that.
you know, if you want
A decent
whole
parade.
parade.
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta do some market research.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta figure out where the best
Hell
routes are.
yeah.
Angels of
Exactly.
Death, 7-foot tall killing machines.
Market research.
Market
Where's the best
Where,
parade
where
route?
is your accessible toilets?
Paperwork for you to fill out at Space Marine.
Health and safety.
Health and safety.
forms,
Oh
yeah.
my. Yeah.
What
Risk
is
assessment.
the best candy to throw for the children?
Huzzah! Ah!
I'm definitely going the kind of the grunt side of things. I'm going to go with lifting heavy objects.
Nice.
Lifting heavy
Nice.
objects. A classic there. What about you, Alan?
Oh, I think parades are important to impressing people, right?
Oh.
yeah.
I think I'm going to have
Oh,
to...
well,
I see a
we've got our committee.
I think we're going to
Have
be
to join this parade
hosting a lot of
thing.
parades.
We've got the committee going on here, haven't we?
We're going to be talking the civilians into going to a lot of parades.
Yeah, very much so.
I've got my parade deputy.
Parade deputy.
Parade deputy.
Parades make everyone look happy, and that's the same thing as being happy, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So we've got your D20s assigned, you've got your D12s assigned. What about your D10s? Who is very keen to sign that very keen approach?
I mean, I'm gonna jump in first again, purely
for it.
because it makes sense. Being nice to them, protecting them,
Yep.
and then impressing them.
Oh.
So So
Yeah, you're definitely civilians first.
civilians first. Yeah.
You're a new hire.
I mean, very much so. Very much keen as mustard. No brains whatsoever. Keen as mustard. That's what I'm going for.
I love it. Anyone else got their D10s?
I'm gonna put lifting heavy objects
Mhm.
because you know when you're holding your parades, you gotta be able to lift things.
Get those floats going. yeah.
Exactly. You know, what if the float what if the tire breaks and you have to lift it up to put the tire back in?
Absolutely.
That's how tires work, right?
Absolutely. what about on this side, Kristian?
I think I'm going to go with protecting civilians. And I'm just throwing it out there a bit early. I'm definitely putting a D6 in holding parades So that I'm the least
yeah.
confident, but ironically, possibly the best at it.
I'll probably be doing the same with you.
Put that in now, then. Put that in now.
Okay, D6 for holding parade.
Yeah,
so happy
absolutely.
with
I mean, they've got it covered.
that. Yeah, totally.
If anything, they're making us feel
Spreading
less
it out
confident
in your
about
little
it.
unit, absolutely. Alan.
I think lifting heavy objects is quite an impressive thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop civilian.
Look how impressive I am at lifting these heavy objects.
Look at this car.
Well, what I say from the back of my parade, I say from the back of my parade float, of course.
Of course.
It's holding up a car, but not noticing there's 5 screaming people inside it. Like, look how impressive this is!
I think it's more impressive if there are 5 screens.
That's fair.
This is true.
Fantastic.
The people love me.
All right. So let's do your D8s. So you got 2 D8s. Do you know where you're going to assign them? And this is practice. Yeah, I think we've got this. Kind of confidence.
I'm going to put my D8s on building and repairing things because you have to repair the floats.
Yep.
And also impressing civilians because parades are impressive AF.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm actually gonna finish mine. I am.
Do it. Yeah.
Because I think yet again, if we're going for the nice but dim approach, I'm thinking gathering information is going to be my lowest.
Yep.
It's going to be D6, which
Just
therefore
like chatting to you.
which therefore leads me to have my building, repairing things, and my lifting heavy objects as my D8s.
Fantastic.
That's me done.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to go with being nice and gathering information with my D8s, and my other D6 is impressing civilians. I'm not here to impress you.
You want to lift things up.
Yeah, I'm here to. I'm doing the grunt work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the opposite. I think if they're impressed by me, do I really need to be nice to them as well?
Wow.
I think it becomes.
Wow.
I think it's redundant.
It's
at that point.
gratuitous. It's gratuitous.
You're bench pressing their entire bus. They don't have to be,
Yeah, who cares if I'm being nice at that point? And I also don't think, gathering information doesn't feel that particularly useful either. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with that as D6.
So you don't need to figure out what it is that they want you to do.
Just impress
You just do it. Yeah.
Why aren't you
That's what I
impressed?
think, yeah,
I punched down your school. That's amazing.
Leaving building, repairing, and protecting as my D8. So.
Brilliant. Excellent. Is there anyone that hasn't got anything assigned? I think you've got a couple.
I just haven't put down my D6s.
Yes. Your D6. What are you
being
cautious about?
Nice to civilians because I'm throwing candy at your children. What more do you want, people? And protecting civilians. I'm throwing candy at your children, people. What more do you want?
Ow, my eye, mommy!
Yeah, suck on that while you wait for the doctor.
Wow. Okay, you're that kind of guy. Gal.
But
Whatever.
it's a weird thing though, because mechanically the things that we're less confident about, we're
Better
sort
at.
of better.
Yeah, because you're cautious about it.
'Cause we're-
Absolutely. Yeah, you're not going in like.
Because
brass.
it's not the higher the better, is it?
No, we'll get on to that when
there's
it happens.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we're slowly learning who at the table read the rules.
I read them. Did I fully internalize them? Maybe not.
I don't know
I
who's
wasn't
given
even,
them.
Yeah.
I wasn't even told what game we were playing.
You
so I
just
got
told
here.
us to turn up,
Yeah.
and you know what? I like that.
Turn up, look
text.
pretty, and I've got to say, man, you're doing well. You're doing well.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I can manage 2 things at once.
It's not being nice to people, though.
That's a third thing.
Yeah, sorry. All right, so we've got all of our approaches assigned, so that should give you an idea of what kind of person is. And yes, the confidence dice is more about how good you think you are at it, not how you're actually good at it, which we'll come to in a second. But the second part is what don't you understand? So your Space Marines, you've never been able to understand one element of civilian culture, and it fascinates you and perplexes you. So I want you to choose an element from the list below, and then you roll. Then you would roll a d10 whenever that element comes up, and then you would take the highest dice when you interact with it. So, for example, if you were being nice to civilians and they had some animals with them, you're like, oh, I will. My thing is about animals. You would roll that d10 as well. And if it's the higher, you would take that as yours, whatever role is in that, because it fascinates you. You think it's interesting.
Sure.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 of these things. We could roll a d10 and then randomly do it, or I could read out the list. What do people feel?
Oh, randomly.
I'm up for random.
Random sounds good.
All right, so
re-roll 10s.
Yeah, we'll re-roll 10s. We'll go down one in order. So, I almost called you Gavin there. Oh, he's not here.
He also wasn't playing last
No, I
time.
know. Alan, roll me a d10. Tell me what you get.
9.
9. Oh, sadness.
I don't understand sadness.
You don't understand sadness.
Why are these
You
people?
are the happiest man ever. That is so cool.
You've never been able to understand
You're just
it.
standing in front of
It-
crying
It
people.
fascinates you and perplexes you.
Okay.
Actually, with my stats here, that's
Yeah.
You're standing in front of people just bending bars and things.
Why
I'm
aren't you
like,
smiling more? This is like
All right. Kristian, let's go.
3.
A 3. Love. You've got sadness and love over there, so you don't understand that at all. Emily, go for it.
What is love?
3. I'll
3.
re-roll that.
Re-roll that. Go for it.
Oh, I'll actually roll it in the dice tray.
Then it counts.
reroll 10s.
10.
No, there isn't. No, sorry, I did miscount it. Grab cars.
Grab cars.
Grab cars.
The person in charge of holding the
Oddly-
parade
Okay.
does not understand.
It's a black box.
That is weirdly specific, like sadness, love, grab
Grab
cars.
cars.
Have cars.
Okay.
Cars, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
cool.
Floating car.
And finally,
Okay.
last but not least,
3. No.
Yep.
6.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Humour.
Humour. Why are you laughing?
Why are
I
you-
specifically said no laughing. Right, humour. Cool.
I love
That
this.
makes it even weirder that Emily's the only specific one. We're just conceptually, the three of us are like
This is
the concepts of
amazing.
humanity. I've lost it.
Humour,
She's like, no,
okay.
just, how does this thing go forward?
It's on the ground, but not on the ground.
No.
It's above the ground. It's hovering. It wants to be near the ground, but now it's not. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
No.
I
You're in
don't know,
charge
man.
of these parades. You're not in charge of driving the parade floats.
That's true.
Thank goodness.
This is true. I hire people for that.
But
You
you
don't
don't
need
need
to
but you are. Does say you were fascinated by these things.
So, yes,
right?
you-
so
you
yes,
never-
maybe that's why you run the parade. 'Cause you just want to get as close to as many grab cars as possible.
Yeah, because realistic, it's the higher number, right? So it means you're more likely to fail because you're so fascinated by it as a confidence thing. So yeah, who knows on that front?
Awesome.
Brilliant. All right, so that's our approaches, and that is what you don't understand. I'm just going to tell you right now. You all automatically succeed at combat. So if you say, I'm going to punch somebody, yeah, you don't need to roll for that at all because you are Space Marines. You are fairly competent and confident in doing that. So that's good to know. Next thing, I need you to choose a piece of equipment that you bring with you everywhere. So it's a D6 again, so we'll go around this way if that's okay. So
Sure.
roll me a D6.
That's a 5.
A 5 is a psi axe.
Psyaxe.
Yes.
Nice. I'm assuming PS what? PSI.
PSI.
Boom.
Yep.
4.
A 4 is it's an atomic jetpack.
Come back here!
I don't know how it works.
It's like a graph car, but I'm a car.
Fantastic. Kristian, go for it.
2.
2 is an ancient god pistol.
Ancient what pistol?
God pistol.
God pistol.
Duh.
Obviously. It
Yeah.
shoots gods at people. Take Jupiter!
Go for it.
I can't read these dice. 6.
A 6 is a grapple cannon.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, we all want different stuff. That's quite good.
That's really good. So, and that is the main bit of creating characters. We'll go around with names and maybe a name for your squad in a second. But I'm just going to read out the rest of this. So, as I was saying, combat actions, they automatically succeed, but non-combat actions confuse you. So, whenever you attempt to resolve a situation which involves one of your approaches that doesn't involve combat, you'll roll your D, whatever you've assigned to it. I'm going to tell you what the levels are now. But I will always remind you of them. So if you roll a 1, it's a terrible failure, so it's not gone well. 2 to 4 is mostly failure, some success. Great. 5 to 6 is success, the action has succeeded. 7 to 10, success with minor collateral. 11 to 19, success with dire collateral. And finally, 20, success with catastrophic collateral.
Wait, 11
so
to
like-
19 is dire collateral. Oh my god, I should have
You're
taken.
too good.
I mean,
like
it's-
5 to 6 is the sweet spot.
5 to 6 is what you're aiming for.
Right.
So basically, what
Okay.
we're telling me is that if I try to be nice to civilians, I've got a 50-50 chance of having dire collateral,
Yep.
and I've got a 5% chance of basically just being nice to civilians to their death.
Yes.
Excellent. I like this plan. Happy to be a part of it.
And what I'd say as well is that it's definitely, I run my games as a sort of collab thing, so if you're like, oh, it's a dire collateral, please jump in and like, oh, this is what happens and stuff. I'm more than happy for you as players to create consequences for each other on that front. The final thing we do before we get into the game is that we're going to create what the story is together. So it says, according to me, we've got the post-war power blocks. So these two sort of factions that are on this planet that you're going to have to deal with and what they are trying to do. So let's see what we've got. All right, so with the 2d6. So I'm going to ask this table here, Team Normal.
Team Normal.
I want you to roll 1d6 each.
I don't call us Team Normal.
I call you Team Normal.
Why are they Team Normal?
You're Team Warhammer.
Because we don't know Warhammer.
Team, yeah.
I've never been described as normal
I've
in
never
my
been on.
life.
This is amazing.
Yay! Yes, D6. Sorry, I got distracted. So, yeah, D6.
What a very normal way to hold a D6.
Roll your D6. Oh, bless. Roll your D6s.
3.
3?
6.
All right, so we have a fiercely opportunistic Superlink Techno Bishop Hive.
Say that again?
I will. So we have a, we have a fiercely opportunistic.
Fiercely opportunistic. Both of which I'm spelling wrong, almost certainly.
That's fine.
Yep.
Superlinked Techno Bishop Hive.
Superlinked Techno Bishop Hive.
Correct.
Superlinked Techno
Bishop
Hive.
Yeah.
Hive.
Brilliant. And then now we go to Team Warhammer, and I want you to do the exact same thing. So roll your d6.
Red one this
One.
time.
1,
5.
1 and 5. So we have an incredibly pious, sanctioned executioners.
Sanctioned executioners.
Yes, an incredibly pious, sanctioned executioners. So those are the two factions warring for supremacy on this planet that you have just helped out with. And then
So is that our teams?
No.
Or that's
no,
the
that
story?
you are the
Those are
main
the
faction.
enemies.
These are the enemies that are warring against each other and yourselves. And then finally we have the conflict itself. It says here, conflict centers around, and then you can roll once, or you can roll twice and combined if you're feeling brave. I'm feeling brave, guys.
Sounds more interesting.
I'm going to say one from each table. Roll a d12.
Yes, baby.
6.
10.
6 and 10. So we have a yet to be designed golden statue of a local hero. That's one thing. And then on from Team Warhammer, that was a 10.
Yes.
This could not have been better. Hosting the upcoming festival of the Eternal King.
So a yet to be designed statue.
Golden
local
statue
hero.
of a local hero, and hosting the upcoming festival of the Eternal King.
These are two things that, as on our to-do list.
These are what the conflict is centering around that you will have to solve in your solo week. Squad names.
Squad name, yeah, something, ridiculous.
Over the top, like
The steel irons.
steel.
That's very metal.
I think
Steel
steel irons of angel death or something ridiculous.
Steel irons of blood.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Steel irons of blood.
Okay.
I love
Alright,
steel
yep.
irons.
Steel irons.
Because the double redundancy works.
Yeah.
Steel irons of blood. All right.
Steel irons of red blood, just to get
Oh,
the
yeah,
double
yeah, yeah,
redundancy
Yes.
going.
Yeah.
Naturally. All right. So you are part of the squad of Steel Irons of Red Blood.
What about steel irons of copper blood? Add another metal in.
How do we feel? Do we feel good?
I'm happy with that.
Sure.
Steel irons of copper blood.
Nice. All right.
What a stupid name.
All right. Yeah, we're going to play a really serious game, guys.
Steel irons of.
copper
Is
blood.
it irons with irons plural? Gotcha. Okay.
We are steel irons of copper blood.
Hello. Yes.
So, what I am going to do now is allow you, the players, to go around and introduce your characters or your character concept. You don't need to go through the approaches because we've just done that with the thing. Just a general, maybe a quick description of how you look like, how you sound like, if you wish to do that. Pronouns, which you wish to. Obviously, your name. You can make up a rank if you like. And what I would suggest, again, highly encouraged, is to do your salute. Something that you've made up that you would do when you're greeting other.
Yeah, I think.
It could all be. I felt that from over here. It could all be.
Yeah.
It could all...
Yeah, that's part of
When
it.
that rainbow shining over you.
Oh no, that's
No.
where the dreams all come true.
No,
Oh,
babes,
babes, babes, babes.
Oh, the stars.
My first thought is is just to be the guy who hasn't quite mastered the salute. What's one of the Nazi characters from Hello Hello? Just every time he goes, he just goes. That doesn't quite
So yeah,
doesn't seem to
what
have
I
figured
said,
it out.
you don't have to do the same as someone else. You can if you want to, like try and copy it, but it's going to be your own individual thing, and I will prompt you to use it should you wish to. It's just a little fun thing I thought I'd introduce for this one shot. So we'll go around because I want to.
What's yours?
All right.
I do think it's funny if three of us have the same salute and one doesn't.
Okay, so what is it? It's a what? Are we going to the
It's going to be off.
Oh, it's good.
Like, as if you're taking off your hat, I think is what they're doing.
what? Is it?
It's just.
Yeah. I'll do it as the up down, and you can do it as the.
I'll just do it as slapping myself in the head.
Yeah, so you just on your head.
I recommend it hurts after a while. So just be
Just
careful.
be careful. Okay.
And
well,
Kristian?
Kristian's one.
Okay.
You're used to it by now. So, all right, I'm glad we sorted out that roleplay element. That's definitely going to come into that. Brilliant. All right, well, we'll go around this way again, just to give people a chance. But Face, could you introduce your character and give us a quick description of what they are?
I'm going for the old nice but dim. So I'm going to go for. I'm going to go with and if somebody wants to outrank me, I'm fine with that. But I'm going to go for sergeant.
Yeah, I'm going to just add in because I'm going to be third in the order here. I don't think my guy's in charge. I'm definitely the grunt of the kind of the heavy lifter. Of the group.
Okay. So I was going to go with sergeant. So a little bit, a little bit of rank. Desperately trying to make officer.
Yep.
Desperately trying to make officer, but has no clue about anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going for definitely the nice but dim kind of like approach. I'm thinking something like Cuthbert, but I'm thinking like Cuthbert Death Angel or something. There's something particularly metal afterwards, but just doesn't know. So it'd be like I don't know, like. Sergeant Deathblow. Hello, Sergeant Deathblow here. Call me Cuthbert. Hi. That's what I'm going for.
I love that death blow.
Sergeant Cuthbert Deathblow. Nice but dim. Very much trying to, be, for the Emperor. Yeah. And one needs to be. What does one need to be? Officer. Right. Okay.
Right.
We need to do something to do with. There's a statue. Yes. Okay. We're doing that. Right. That's what I'm going for.
Fantastic. Can you describe Sergeant?
Yeah, he's obviously
Sieg?
in his armour, so we've all got the same armour, which I'm guessing, based off of this,
You're all like 9 foot tall.
is like 9. I'm assuming
Steel
giant.
iron
it's a
copper.
steel armour with like red motifs everywhere. The big skull and the pauldrons, etc. And when he takes his helmet off,
Very impressive, I'm sure.
yeah. So when you take the helmet off, it's like I've got the full-on proper crew cut. I've got the scar going down through my thing. I've got the chiselled looks. I am every inch like the deathly warrior soldier until I open my mouth. It's like, you expect to be like, hi, I'm Sergeant. Sorry, something stuck in my throat there. Hello. That's what I'm going for. So up until he opens his mouth, he looks the epitome of a space marine of what you expect Sergeant Deathblow to be. But yeah, he hasn't got a clue.
I like that because what you don't understand is humour.
Humour. Yeah.
Excellent.
You are
And yet,
hilarious.
and you've got your psi axe as well.
Oh yes. I call her Emma.
Oh.
After my mother. Her name wasn't Emma.
No.
No, I just called her
Emma, after mother, yeah.
Or did we have
Why are you
mothers?
laughing? Why is she laughing? I don't understand this at all. No, it's okay, Emma. Ow!
Yeah. Well, thank you, Sergeant Deathblow. Is it on to?
Please call me Cuthbert.
Cuthbert, thank you.
Hello. I have not made character yet, but I just want to talk like this. So I'm just going to start talking, and eventually I will come up with something. I would like to be commander because commander is fun.
Oh, outranking me. Nice.
I do not know what ranks are. I just like being commander. I am commander.
No, we're unclear if you actually are commander, if you just call yourself that.
that is their first name,
My
Commander.
first name is Commander. Commander Ilivnevna Kostjevich.
Oh my
Go.
god.
Spell that.
Spell
for
that,
me?
yeah,
Can
can
you
you-
spell that? Just so I can get it down.
Commander.
That's the easy part.
Yeah.
Yep. Ilya
Yeah.
Nevna
No.
Kost Kost
Yep.
I wonder what-
Yavich.
We're never going to... Commander it is.
Ilya for short, if you must.
Ilya.
Or commander. Either is okay.
Alright.
Ilyanevna Kostjevich. Pronouns, anything you want. I am not fussed.
What are the pronouns? Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think the Space Marines had gender, did they?
Yeah.
I guess
I do
if,
not-
if you wanted to present us something, if you wanted to... it
Any
doesn't matter.
gender you want to say about me, I am okay with. Do not care. Hello.
It's been a long time since I've read the lore of Warhammer. So.
I am very tall, very slim. Could look like a knockover with breeze, but I am very strong. I could probably, if you tried to knock me over, knock you back. It's fun. Parade?
Fantastic. And yes, when you don't understand grav cars, unfortunately.
And what's your thing again? Oh, your jetpack.
Yeah, atomic jetpack.
Atomic.
I fly real high and very fun.
But
Have you
hovering
been
just off the
ever?
ground. Not so fun. Brilliant.
I
Thank you.
hover around and pretend I'm a grab car.
That's not how. Okay.
And what does Commander look like?
Very tall, very thin.
Any
I
particular
think,
hairstyle or any sort of distinctive markings?
Um,
Tattoos?
shaved head, helmet, and the entire armor actually has like diagonal stripes. Steel, iron, copper, steel, iron, copper. And then I have a bandolier going the opposite diagonal way.
Yeah.
That has a bunch of, it looks, you might think actually they're like bullets or something, but actually they're little fuel cells for my jetpack.
Ah, nice. I like
So
that.
if I run out, if I'm like starting to feel myself get a little bit low, I just kind of whoop, whoop, and it's all right.
You do what, sorry?
Whoop, whoop, and it's all right.
That's team sound effect now. It's Team Warhammer over here.
Sound effects. I'm okay with this. Hello. Oh,
Sorry, Face, what was your character's name again?
Sergeant Sergeant Cuthbert Deathblow.
Deathblow. That's not. I wrote it down correctly.
Kristian, go for it.
I am unranked. An unranked.
Is that private then?
Private, I guess.
Private,
yeah.
yeah.
Reginald Reggie. So Reginald Straightjacket.
Reginald Reggie Straightjacket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, we are wearing the enormous 9-foot tall beefcake, like ridiculous power armor at all times. But with his helmet off and his enormous thick neck that he's in his head, Reginald looks like he might actually fill out the suit. Like if he took the suit off, that might actually just be him. He has the least polished looking suit of everybody. He doesn't like take care of it or anything. It's like, it just is what it is. And it's got the team colours, which I guess are a weird combination of steel, iron, and copper, kind of like metal
very
shades,
similar colours,
kind of sedimented in a weird kind of like a geological survey kind of way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love it.
And yeah, with this enormous pistol, much bigger than anybody else's, it seems. He just sort of found it.
Ancient god pistol. Yeah.
When people were kidding up one day, it was in one of the lockers. It was like, oh, it looks good, but I didn't think much about it, and I'd never seen the like of it again since. We're not sure where it came from.
And you don't understand what love is.
I don't understand what love is.
I want to know what love is.
Well,
we don't understand it, but it fascinates you and
Yes.
it perplexes you as well.
People have strong emotions.
Indeed.
What do they mean?
But have you ever seen a grav car? It's very cool.
Is that funny?
And finally, last but by no means least,
Well,
Alan.
I'm thinking, if I'm mostly about like pomp and impressing people and everything, I have to be some sort of officer, right?
Oh.
So,
Oh, excellent.
like, who generally, all about pomp and circumstance without actual any practical skills. So
Definitely opposite material.
I'm just going to go with Major Tom.
Yes.
Perfect.
Major Tom, fantastic.
Yeah. I'm thinking visually. I'm thinking like Brad Pitt, but with like a really sort of ugly-looking birthmark just on the sort of chin there, which he's really self-conscious about. So please don't mention it.
The Heartthrob, I think.
That's awesome. And yeah, you don't understand sadness.
And I do not.
No.
Why would people be sad? It makes no sense to me.
It's absolutely
Why would you be
beautiful
sad when you could be
person.
happy?
Have you tried
Was there
not
to be
being depressed?
Oh, you're that guy. You're that guy.
And yeah, you're...
Just try to just Major Tom, nothing else.
Yep, just that.
Nice.
Just Major Tom.
Please call me Major Tom. Right, gotcha.
That is it. And yeah, your item of equipment, your piece of equipment, sorry, is your grapple cannon that you
Yes.
have to hand.
I like grappling onto things and flying. It looks very impressive.
We've got another Batman thing going on.
Yeah, that's Brad Pitt.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Major Tom.
Brilliant. All right. So, steel irons. Are we ready to begin?
I put too many quotation marks around my own name.
Reggie.
Reginald Reggie Straightjacket. That's too many quotation marks. Like Straightjacket's a weird second nickname.
All right. So we are going to open this one shot. You can see your dropship is leaving and going up into the atmosphere, and the four of you have been left in this sort of village space. It is currently deserted. It is obviously the ravages of your victory are still quite fresh. You can see cracks on the walls and like
I did that one.
bits of blood spatter in places as well.
Me too.
But straight ahead of you, you can see like a very big open sort of it is open because the roof is caved in slightly. It's sort of a big building, and on it just says Town Hall in big letters, and the door is slightly ajar. And from inside, you can hear sort of some rabble-rousing, sort of like chatter, exciting chatter, but also like, no, we should do this. So, yes, what you can hear just now, and the rest of the town is open to you as well. But what would you like to do, Steel Irons? I leave it to you.
So just out of character, mechanically we know that we need to make sure that basically that the people are happy that we've conquered them, essentially.
You believe they're happy.
Of course they are.
Yeah, you liberated them.
Like,
why would they be
Why would they not be?
Why would they experience sadness?
we need to make sure that it's clear to the Emperor when he comes to check
Yes,
it out.
you are the sort of the sort of force there to make sure and sort of smooth over those rough edges, etc.
The diplomacy team.
Yeah, before
We are so
Yeah.
screwed.
you're literally the A team at this point, because B and C teams are not with you. You don't have any support. But you know from your superiors that you've got the brief you got is to make things nice. You're aware that other things are happening on this planet, but you have one solar week to get things right before the superiors come to inspect this particular city, but this planet in general, to see how well it has gone.
So we can assume the people that are inside the town hall and they're all talking, they're all civilians.
We're the only Marines here?
You are currently the only Marines
Okay.
here. Yeah, you are the task force essentially. You know there's no support coming. Exactly.
Those are the people we helped.
Yes.
Obviously. Yes.
They've
They
been
love-
very thoroughly helped.
They love us.
Go over the cross.
Yeah, I think we walk in impressively and ask for a status report.
Do you want helmets off or helmets on?
I think helmets off.
Understood.
Well, I think the person talking helmet off, everyone else helmet on for like a backdrop.
Right. Okay. So who's me them talking?
I'd pick up the two halves of my helmet in reality. I headbutted a lot of things during the last fight there.
Reggie, we've talked about this before. You have a sword and you have that really nice pistol. You don't.
I'm just going
need
to try
to...
and mush them together. I'm fairly confident I can
anyone
fix
Yeah,
this.
building and repairing
I'm
things.
confident I can repair
All right,
this
let's
just
do
by,
our
Oh wow!
Let's
just
roll,
by,
let's
just
roll.
by pushing the two halves
Right, here we
together.
go.
Absolutely. So in order to get, you're like, I want to get in, make sure things are repaired. Yeah. So building and repairing things. Roll your dice.
Is there
for that.
any help action or anything?
Do Space Marines help?
No.
I'm just thinking, I have a jetpack, so clearly there must be some flames coming out from it, which would clearly be good for welding.
I will.
I mean, there's not really a way to mechanically do that, I think.
Well, I guess
No,
you
you
can
know
roll
what?
twice
You
and
know
take the
what?
one
No,
you
no.
want.
I would say you can also do a building and repairing things thing.
Ooh. No.
Okay.
To be fair, you're actually
Do
more
we
likely
take
to
that?
succeed.
I'm taking the highest roll.
No, we'll just do it separately for now.
Okay.
So yeah. So what are your dice values before you roll? So we've got it on.
I'm a D20.
You're a D20.
I have a D8.
D8. All right. Roll away, chaps, and let me know what you get.
5.
3.
Ooh, okay. So we have a success over here, and we have mostly failure, but some success.
I actually twist slightly and then go slightly off centre.
Yeah.
It's
It's not symmetrical
could be
at all.
smoother. Let me. She turns around and just kind of
Point it at your butt.
Yeah.
There we go. It's
Yeah.
smoother now.
Unfortunately, Reggie, your hands are very burnt, very badly burnt. But and you may you take off your hands and there's a bit like imprint of your fingers in it. It's suitable as a helmet. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not laughing, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, you can have a helmet. You squeeze it on.
Yeah. Are you okay under
It's
there?
slightly lopsided, the eye hole.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
So I'm like,
looking off to the left. Yeah.
I have to walk like this now.
Yeah.
Good.
It's quite tight in there. You might have a problem taking it off. Anyway, so you march in. Like, how are you going into? Like, they're not being quiet. They're definitely like chitty chattering. Going, oh, but what about the flowers?
Major, after you.
I think open the door, just walk in, and say status report.
All right. So you're opening the door. I say that's lifting heavy objects. Let's go for it. You're making an entrance. Ooh,
4.
4. That is mostly failure, some success. The door doesn't exist anymore yet. Status report, and you just see people. You realise as you look where the door was, there's definitely a splatter mark, and somebody. Like, oh no, the mayor!
Oh dear.
And as you sort of come in, you're in a very big hall with, like, you know, the glass sort of panes are sort of broken in places. There's a big hole in the ceiling, and you see those groups of people sort of there cowering a little bit back from you. But you see there are definitely the 2 heads of the organisations that are here. So which we rolled beforehand. We have the leader, who is an incredibly pious sanctioned executioner, who's there in a very dark hood, holding their scythe to one side. Not a scythe. It is a scythe now. I've decided. And on the other.
Laser side?
Yep.
That's probably a thing in Warhammer.
It's probably a thing in Warhammer. And then next to them, slightly shorter, maybe a bit stouter, is the fiercely opportunistic, super linked Techno Bishop Hive. And it's they're slightly shorter, but there's like a whole group of them. And they're all sort of like this, with sort of hands templed, going, yes, good, yes. And with all Ray-Bans, like with electric beeps on. And they look up and go, excellent, Marines, and they all sort of wait. They sort of go to sort of do a salute, and then they sort of.
It's over here now because the eyes have shifted on your helmet.
We are to understand, and looking to you because you're the only one with your helmet off just now, Major Tom. So we are to understand that your superiors are arriving in a solar week's time. We are just getting our preparations ready for the festival. You've kind of blown up all of our resources.
You are very welcome.
Are you being nice to citizens?
Yes, I am, I guess.
Or a
D20
Or a
for
20.
this one.
Or a 20.
D20.
Everyone starts crying.
Yeah.
7.
7. Success with minor collateral. Your voice, the spittle, it sort of comes out.
I've got my helmet on, so it's the...
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
voice thing.
yeah.
Small baby cries.
No, it is Oak. What is going
Lou
on? Why is the baby not happy?
Yeah, definitely crying, and then suddenly there's a wail of other children crying as well. So it's very hard to hear that. And then, we don't have. It's going to take us ages to put the festival together.
What do we have?
We can put bits of the building together, but we don't have any. We don't have any flowers, any regalia, and they point to behind you. And you look back at the town square, and there was a sort of plinth that was there. Said, "Oh, we don't have the statue yet for our the hero. It's not been sculpted yet. We've got the mound back at the workshop."
Do we have?
Hello. Hello, don't cry, hello. Hi. Coochie coochie coo.
Oh, be nice to citizens.
Really? I'm gonna kill a baby. I'm so sorry. No. That's success with dire consequences. It's a 13.
Dire collateral.
Dire collateral.
Coochie coochie coo.
I'm going to open it up to the team as well, because this is the thing. Was there any circumstances you think what would happen from this roll that's dire as a result? Doesn't have to involve death, I will say.
I mean, I'm thinking there's certainly got to be a chain reaction of babies crying.
There's lots of babies crying. I think what happens is that then all the mothers and all the sort of
Just
people,
get up
the
and
parental things leave.
Just
So you
go,
have,
I didn't mean what? Look,
That's so mean. So yeah, so half your workforce is now gone, as they've left to look out and to take parental duties.
Right.
So that's a dire consequence of that.
That was
is probably for best. So you say statue not yet built?
We've just got this. You've kind of got rid of all of our local heroes, so we.
Build of Major Tom.
No, I'm prepared to model if that's if that
Is
will be
hero.
required.
Is Major. Is Tom.
Yes,
I will carve out of your city's gold supply.
You will do the carving.
A fitting tribute. All your city's gold supply.
But yes, if you're willing to take that task on, that would be great. Because we're unveiling it at the end of the festival for the Eternal King. So yeah, that sounds great.
I thought there would be more pushback from taking all their gold, but okay.
Do you
They're just there going.
do you have
They got
artisan in mind?
really tiny statue that's got no gold left. Sorry.
Say again, sorry.
Do you have artisan in mind, or are you okay if Reggie here?
I'm
Carve.
very good.
It sounds very good. But you can make for me. What are you doing? Do impress civilians for me.
Oh God.
I'm very good.
Okay, it's a D6, so I'm
So
technically good. I
well-
just don't think I am.
We'll find out.
Nope.
Two.
Do you have anyone else in mind?
I made helmet.
It's very
Repair. Perfect.
modern. Which,
Punch myself on the side of the face to get it back around the right way.
yeah. I guess if there's no one else, like we're really working with scraps here. Like half our workforce has just left because they've got parental leave.
He scared them.
Maybe.
I did no such thing.
Maybe you would just not talk for 1 minute.
Do you do that deliberately? Does your helmet process your voice like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What were we saying? Sorry, I've got no idea. But my
some
Yeah.
static in
You
there.
can't hear it.
No, not in the slightest.
what? I mean, is there any
Massive difference
when
when
I have my helmet off and helmet on?
I can't tell a difference.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
The important thing is, all we've
There's
lost
definitely some people
are people
laughing
who
at
will
you.
be. They would
I
be
have
a
no idea.
detriment at the final festivals anyway, won't they? They're screaming babies are
Lazy
not
people.
exactly going to improve the festival mood.
I mean, it's nice to have a crowd to celebrate, the Eternal King. I'm sure that's a later problem. But right now we just need to repair, make the town look nice, and maybe some floats, and maybe like some sort of parade. And we need that unveiling of the statue at the end.
Did you say parade?
I mean, it's usually traditional at a festival. And
We have float for parade. We
we
have many floats for parade.
we-
Floats on grav cars.
we sure. We don't really have many. You kind of got rid of all of our resources on that front.
Floats on grav car make parade.
Okay, so you're good to be in charge of that.
Yes, will be a job for me.
Great. So we've got team sculpture.
So we've got the sculpture. You've got the parade. You seem to have a good rapport with the locals, so if you could help organise the repair and rebuilding effort.
Maybe
Does that cover the majority?
Sounds like an excellent idea, sir.
maybe stop making the children cry.
I did no such thing.
I think you did.
All the techno bishops goes. We can look after the music. We can sort that out. No problem. And the execution is sort of like, I can help with waste disposal.
So he is on toilets duty then. Good.
Okay, I can do that. Sure.
Is that, I think that covers everything?
Sounds like plan.
Excellent idea.
Take me to your gold.
Okay. So what we're going to do, so it is 7 solar, so a week, so 7 solar days or solar week. We're just going to go as is, essentially. What do you guys want to do first? Do we want to do the statue stuff first? Do we want to do...
I think I want to see the gold.
All right. So you two are sort of taken by the little hive techno bishops in a sort of like you're given little Ray-Bans with the lights on it. It says, "You see as we see." As a slight beat, which is quite cool. And then they're like, and then one person out the back says, let the beat drop. And then you carry on.
I just bend them to fit over the helmet, I guess, because it's quite hard to get.
Weirdly, they do that. I think it's on a bit of a weird angle, even though you've got its background a little bit. It looks very much like a Pablo Picasso. But yeah, you arrive at a big warehouse, and the sort of smaller hive, they sort of help move the warehouse doors open, and it opens up into a huge warehouse, a little bit like where we are just now. But instead of like lots of cool studios, it's just one small corner, and you can just see it looks like some sort of shape underneath a huge canvas, and then there's like an easel with a bench next to it with various implements, and then there's like a picture, but it's a little bit far to see because you're right in the corner just now. And the hive sort of go, all right, this is where the station is to model and stuff. Oh, and then together they come out and here is a chair for you to sit on.
I don't think sitting is a very impressive pose.
It's very tiny as well. It's like that bit in Little Britain where they go here and it's big for them, and you pick it up. It's like tiny, small child chair.
It's fine. What I will do is I will lift one knee and put my foot upon it, like I'm standing as a conqueror.
Amazing.
And a liberator.
As a conqueror.
And as a liberator. Very good. All right. The hive sort of say, we will see if we can find any more gold and stuff for your services. And they also scatter away. And you two are left in this huge echoing warehouse. Like I said, in the corner is this little art station. So what do you
Is that what you're
to
planning
do?
to wear?
My armour? Yes.
Alright.
What else would you wear?
I mean, that is a good question.
Cool.
What are you
What
planning
I
to
feel
What are you planning to sculpture? Because we've got. So you said you're happy to pose for it, but you know that with the superiors coming, it's not necessarily like, it's a bit awkward if like one of the lower units gets the pose per se. So are you just going to be used as the base, or are you going to try and recreate something bigger?
I feel like it's a depiction of when we arrived and freed these people from their horrible existences.
Yes, and
So-
how many bodies in pile are they replaced chair with?
Good idea. Excellent idea.
Yeah.
I think at least 20.
20 bodies. Yes.
20 bodies.
Of
Okay.
The disloyal.
You're not there currently. No.
Excellent. So I will stand up, one foot up upon the chair,
Okay.
grapple gun in hand.
Yep. All right. So yes, you get in your pose. Reggie, you go to take off the sort of canvas off the sort of block, and as you do so, it comes off, and it's not clean gold. It is definitely tarnished in some way. It needs cleaning before you would tap away. So what would you do for that? I will say it's a big empty warehouse with no water supply.
I mean, fire cleanses.
All right.
She did just say there's no water anywhere. Just FYI.
That sounds like a problem for later, Reggie.
Sounds like a problem for team sculpture is what I'm saying.
I'm sure there's a building that's probably still on fire nearby. So I will lift
Yeah.
gold to that building and throw it in the fire.
Heck yeah. So yeah, let's lift heavy objects.
Yeah.
So roll for that. What's your dice roll?
That's
What's your
my D12.
D12. All right.
That's 12.
Yes.
So,
Success with dire collateral. So I can tell you what happens. This you're like,
Oh yeah.
pick it up. You see this when you're and you throw it. Oh, it's in the fiery building now. Your gold. You can see it starting to melt slightly with the fire.
yes.
That's exactly what you wanted.
Yeah.
No consequences whatsoever.
Success.
Can Major Tom see this?
Oh yeah, you've got.
Wait, is it in the same building? Because I'm still posing.
No, it's
No,
on.
I picked it still in pose and I lifted it up. I couldn't see where I was going any further, but I kind of like vaguely saw a building on fire outside.
Well, even then your helmet's on the wrong way.
Yeah,
So.
charged through the nearest door, already taking the door out as well.
Yep.
And just like full sprint, just heaved it into this fire,
Yep.
just to clean it off.
Yep. So the warehouse next door is currently still on fire, and the gold is melting.
As I said, I'm supposing. I'm not aware of this.
Yeah, you're just looking out the door like, how's it going?
How's the grapple gun looking?
I'll march into the fire because I'm impervious to fire in this massive power.
You go in. You can see that it's melting away quite rapidly.
Just running through your fingers.
Yeah.
Helmet off and start scooping.
I need some sort of bucket.
You could try like gathering information to see if there's a bucket nearby. Perhaps.
Yeah, I'll step out of the nearest person and go, you bucket!
Okay, yeah, so gathering information. Yeah, go for it. What's that one? The dice
The
roll?
Sounds like
D8.
you're calling them a bucket.
7.
7. Oh, success with minor collateral. Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, bucket. And so they come, they get a decent sized bucket and you're like, brilliant. You take the bucket and them into the
It's like, come with me! Need help! Just lift them up I'm carrying them, they're carrying the bucket through the fire.
No!
I'm just using them to scoop the gold.
Yeah.
Scooping them up.
So about 10 minutes later,
Completely unnecessary.
A blackened,
Major
blackened skeleton is on.
Major Tom, Major Tom, you're like, what's going on? And you can see behind you, like, it's a bit panting from Reginald with a bucket with a very charred skeleton arm, like, hanging off the side of it. And you're
That would be useful for the posing.
So you've got melted gold
A bucket
and a skeleton.
I'm going to presume we probably made a few trips to gather as much gold as possible.
How many blackened skeletons do you have?
You get lots of buckets because you don't use, you're like,
got
bucket,
range of buckets.
bucket.
Should I be holding
And there are
the
still
skeleton?
people lining up to provide buckets for some
Yeah,
reason.
because they're like, oh, we'll help.
Why is that a no?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, excellent
Some of
idea.
them
here.
survive.
I'm going to hold the skeleton in my
down.
left hand, with the grapple gun in the right hand as like an extra.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no
so
prop in the
extra
pants.
bits. Excellent.
Well
Very-
found.
Well,
Very noble.
All these people weeping nearby at the deaths of their loved ones, and you're just like, why are they crying?
Yes, is this not an impressive pose? Are they not like? Does this not strike inspiration into the hearts of them?
So I guess I will try and now make a statue with this liquid gold.
building
which
and
I guess
repairing
will
things.
cool eventually.
Yeah, building and repairing things. What I'd say for you, Major Tom, I want you to do a impressing civilian.
Oh, yes.
Excellent.
check.
Oh, yeah.
14.
14.
Okay.
Success with
Dire
dire collateral. Papa!
No, if I may suggest,
Like the small team of orphans at the window.
To be fair, a small team of recent orphans.
Recently orphaned orphans.
if I may suggest, you're kind of not feeling that the pose is authentic enough, so you order some people off the street to lie underneath your foot
Yeah.
to get the proper. And you're like,
It's a proper tableau at this point, rather than just one statue.
Much better than the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, what's my motivation? Yes. So if you think you've got a decent, good pose, your boots are a bit bloody.
As they should.
Some
As they
survived.
should.
That's only appropriate.
Some survived.
Wow.
And then building and
God.
repairing things because you're trying to
I don't know, just mould this
You're
glue
trying to do
like
like
this
a
gold
paper-
like some sort of Play-Doh
paper
or
mache,
something.
paper mache-esque.
That's how gold works.
Clearly.
What are you rolling?
What are you rolling? Sorry.
Oh, D20.
Oh, wow, okay.
This is why I'm doing this. I'm so confident
20,
this will go
20,
brilliantly
20.
well. Nothing can possibly go wrong.
No.
Except the
was
one thing
in
that
the-
went
was
wrong.
in the-
Yeah.
That's a 13.
13
Oh,
is-
success! Yay! With
It
no
made a-
With
consequences.
dire collateral. It's a very good lightness. All the way through. You have to go, oh, we need some extra. Aha! There's some just lying around on the floor. You just pull out.
They're just gold-plated civilians now.
Well, yeah, just like, help us. They're still alive.
Dipped in gold
Yeah,
until
yeah, this one.
solidified.
Support.
Yeah. I don't know if gold sets. Let's say it does.
It must do somehow.
So they're like, help me. And you're like, be quiet. Like, so,
Help me!
Yeah, I was having trouble making the pile of bodies, so it was easy to just dip people in gold
Yeah.
and just line them
line
there.
them up.
For the good of the Emperor, be quiet.
It's so realistic.
Yeah. It looks pretty spot on. So you think you have a statue that is worthy for this town square?
Don't know what I'm doing, but
No,
I'm definitely
you
standing there
do it with
doing
your
that for a
gloves.
while.
Yeah.
Means nothing, but
And Major Tom, you finish, you're like, done, and you crush the last of the orphans. And you're thinking, yeah, done. Reggie's done a really
Excellent
good
work.
job. Yeah, absolutely.
you're very heroic.
Thank you.
Killing those people.
Well, how else do you look heroic?
Exactly.
And thus, the bromance was born.
Take my breath away.
I don't know. I don't get
question
it. I don't
now,
understand the feelings inside.
The question I have for you guys now is, how are you going to take this statue from the workshop to the town square?
Sounds like a lifting heavy objects to me.
No, it should be mounted on one of the floats.
Fantastic.
Led. The float parade concludes with the statue being put on the plinth.
Fantastic.
I love it.
I love that. All right. Well, in that case,
If you think that's a good idea, I'm not very. I don't know
No?
much about holding parades.
it's not my thing. It's Commander's
Yeah.
thing, isn't it? Yeah. Well, speaking of Commander, we will then segue easily over to
I would like to do market research.
yes.
What is best way to do market research?
Mm-hmm.
Children. I see a convenient gathering of crowd of orphans right there. So I will do my market research with orphans.
So many orphans in this set.
It's
To
perfect.
be fair, they're
Scott-
newly made orphans.
Yeah.
Recently orphaned. Yeah. So that you think they're prime like market stuff? They'll have
They
their
are the
prime-
ones that need to have the cheering up of parade.
Absolutely.
They will have the most vital information.
All right. So I'll give it to you. Do you want? Is it a gathering information thing, or is it being nice to civilians?
It is definitely gathering information
Gathering
because I am the
information.
most confident in that.
Let's do it then. Roll. And what's the other? It's a D20.
It is my
for that?
D12.
Oh, your D12. Excellent. Yes.
Holding parades is clearly the D20.
Yes. No. I was right.
7.
7. That is a success with minor collateral. Yes. Let's say you go over it and they're like, oh,
Hello, I need to ask question. Sit down.
my ankle.
It's okay. You will walk eventually, or if not, is fine. For good of emperor. Anyway, I need to ask question about parade.
Parades.
If I am going to throw candy at you, I mean to you, what candy do you want?
Just enough food for me and my. Oh, Papa.
Enough. What is that? Give me type. Do you like chocolate or like the cherry or like the strawberry?
we like biscuits by a certain man called McVitie.
Oh, I think I can do that, except for I don't think he has sponsored us. So how about I give you some generic
Generic biscuits.
generic biscuit?
Yes, that's
Okay,
our favourite.
I can throw the biscuit. They probably have very good aerodynamic capability. Aerodynamic.
And there's one more orphan.
Market research done. Tick. One spoken. Yes.
Impaled on biscuits.
Through the eye, like a bourbon.
Here, have shortbread.
Other eye. So you think biscuits of some variety would be very good.
That is what I have learned from my impressive information
Yeah,
gathering.
you're very succinct at doing that as well. And seeing their fellow orphan die by biscuit, lots of other orphans like, yeah, biscuits are fine. Yeah, no, we don't need anything else, just biscuits. It's fine. No, it's fine.
Thank you. You have been very helpful. The Emperor thanks you. Well-
Push the biscuit further in.
Yeah, exactly.
Well done, children.
So where would you like to gain your supplies of biscuits from, Commander?
Well, I think I saw on the way in,
Yeah.
I was murdering like this whole like group of people that were over here, but like in my periphery, just the helmet gives you a little bit of periphery. Not as much as you usually would have, but like just like maybe here. There was this like really nice mom and pop bakery shop. I think the mom might be dead now, but I think the pop still has the bakery.
All right, yeah, and you sort of trundle over there, and you can see like through the burnt out shell of, like you said, it just says "and pop" on it. With lots of like sort of shelves making up, but actually through to the back you can see there's a huge sort of big marquee, like a white tent at the back, and you can hear people sort of whispering at them and trying to get some stuff ready.
Hello.
Yeah, your big sort of head coming into the tent. Yeah.
Hello.
And you can see all these civilians are wearing what look like very clean aprons, and they're all stood behind like little desks with various mixing bowls and stuff.
Hello. I do not have currency. Can only offer glory. Glory for Emperor? Do you take?
Where's Paul? He said he'd come back for us.
Who is Paul?
He gives us challenges and we make food and he tests them. And,
Who is Paul? I do not need Paul.
Mr. Hollywood.
Are you going to talk about Mary next? What is this?
Mary left us a long time ago.
Oh. Anyway, you make biscuits, yeah?
We're doing our star stopper biscuits.
The Star Stopper biscuits.
Yes. the Star Stopper biscuits.
Oh, is for like holo program, da?
It can be, but we've all got different. Like Janie's got ginger nuts. Brian's got. Oh, we don't talk about Brian. He's just.
We don't talk about Brian.
No, we don't
no,
talk
no,
about
no.
no. He's very good with his flavours. You turn to Brian and say, flavours. Cinnamon.
Well, I was told by this very great group of children, well, orphans, well, children still, even though it's not in their souls.
Not the little bakers.
Well, I was told I need to get
they have their competition tomorrow.
Biscuits?
Yes, base biscuits.
And I was told to get the McVitie's, but not actually those generic ones. You can do generic, da?
Technical. And you can see they pull out, that was sort of left to one side. You can see these very perfectly round, like 12 biscuits on each of these sort of trays. Like a perfect sort of like chocolate digestive that's been sort of done. And
Other
underneath
biscuits are available.
and you can see it, like a lot of them, they look all right. One or two of them maybe a little bit too big. One of them has very soggy bottoms. That's Brian. It's the cinnamon that gives the sogginess.
The sogginess is the flavour.
Hashtag the sogginess is the flavour. All right, cool.
But we could, I guess you could take these, but we could also, if we want, we can change our star stopper to be for you, and we could come up with something new.
I have idea. What if I make a parade? Yes, da is the whole idea. But could you maybe, how long does it take biscuits to bake?
Oh, well, usually they give us a time limit, but, we can probably get biscuits, depending on, Brian's obviously got his flavours to sort out, so.
But like, if you go with me here, you have already mixed them, da, and then you already have shaped them, and then you just have on a float, on a grav car, an oven.
Yes.
Going down street.
Yes.
How long do biscuits have to bake?
With that, I guess we could almost instantaneously.
Perfect. So what we do is you have all your mix and you have them on trays.
Yes.
And then as we go down the street, we put the trays in the oven.
Yes.
And then when it's done, little thing goes ding. You take out of oven and throw at children. I mean, throw to children.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we could even do it so that the tray just comes out straight to children.
Yes. Is perfect.
Great.
Decapitation by biscuit tray.
All right. So you you have this great idea for a biscuit float.
Yes.
For a biscuit cannon.
A biscuit
Let's be more precise
Yes.
here. A biscuit
murder
cannon.
cannon. Yes. Absolutely. Do me a favour. Yeah. So they're sort of a bit like, how about you? What are you going to try to do to get these civilian bakers on your side? Would you say?
I am trying.
Because they've helped you with this, and they go, yeah, but they're like, what can you do to help us? And like.
I mean,
Waiting
I'm
for
really
Paul.
trying to impress them, really, with this idea. I'm trying to really get them on board with my vision of this biscuit cannon.
Star stopper cannon.
Yes, that is real Star Stopper right there.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And then we have Star Baker, and they get to leave.
Star Baker.
Yes.
Get crowned.
Yeah. Paul, it's a different story.
Get crowned and get to lead parade.
Leave.
Lead.
Okay.
No one leave. Why would want to leave?
Oh, no.
You don't want to leave, do you? Do you?
Do you want to do? So, what, you're impressing civilians?
I was trying.
Yeah.
Sort of started going somewhere else.
Yeah.
All right, this is my D8.
Yep.
3.
Mostly failure, some success.
Nah.
We don't want to leave, and you can see like flavors, paprika, 5 spice. Tarragon. So he's just panicking, putting in any kinds of flavours.
These are the worst biscuits ever.
We'll do whatever you want. We'll do it. Like we'll leave. We'll stay. We'll bake your biscuits.
Is Brian who we liberated this town from? It sounds like he's some sort of business biscuit dictatorship.
Paul is the person we've liberated the town from.
Liberated the town from Paul.
Paul Woody Hole or something.
Paul Woody Hole.
Woody Hall.
Cool. All right. So they're going to busily bake, and there's a whole show about them doing it, and you see like one of them going, "Oh yeah," and they're like, "Get it together," and they start doing the biscuits and stuff. But you need to make this float. So what are you doing to make this oven float?
I am going to take wherever nearest grav car is.
Okay. Yep. There's one burnt out nearby. Yeah.
Perfect. I would like to take top off. Just need grav bits.
Yep.
Just need grav bits.
That's how that works.
Is how it works.
Yep.
And then I will take one of their ovens.
Yep.
Put oven on grav car. Plug into grav car.
Yeah.
This is how it works, da.
Yeah.
And then that is float.
Cool.
That is how floats work.
Alright,
Yeah?
can you do for me a building and repairings check for me, please?
Clearly with a
That's a D8.
D10 for the
That's a
grab
D8.
car.
Yeah, with a
Oh, right.
with D10 because you don't know because you're like I am obsessed with these grab things.
So
yes.
you roll both and take the higher.
Yes.
I know how this game works. They're both 7s.
7s. That's success with minor collateral. So easy enough. You like grab cars. You get this montage of you like welding it together with I don't know your laser beams.
But just hand shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we need to, because we've got to save on money, so we don't have to. There's the hand of extras doing the hand
doing all the
shots
stuff.
and thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Which oven? There's like 12 different ovens. So which oven do you go for?
The Dutch oven.
The most violent looking one.
Yeah.
I will take Brian's oven. Specifically his.
No.
Give it to me.
No, I need
Brian, I need you on mixing duty. I will take your oven.
Am I Star Baker?
Maybe. We talk about this later.
No, I am Star Baker. Rips off apron and then and starts throwing bits of his.
Brian, I need you with me, Brian.
You shaking him?
Yes.
Okay. You succeed on combat rolls.
Exactly. Brian.
His neck snaps.
Yeah, it's like the spinal cord. The hat, Star Baker hat, just sort of floats off. Brian, the master flavour man, is no more.
Oh well. I did not like his biscuits anyway.
Oh, I liked him in Bread Week, says Random.
Well, it's okay. Now you have oven you do not need. I take this oven, da?
To the corpse, you're saying this to.
No, to
Alright,
whoever
alright,
was
okay.
defending.
Okay.
Someone get rid of that. I do not want it.
And as you sort of turn to leave, you just see them descend on Brian, going, "I want this. Think of a spice.
Say it again.
Whoa!
Hey!
Oh! Cake is tarragon." And then start almost like zombies. It's a cruel world, Space. So you have your big float to the oven, Brian's oven, ready to go. You've retrofitted it so it's able to cook in these things and it all floats ready to go. Great. We'll come back to you because I know you've got a few other bits and pieces I think for that, but we'll go to Cuthbert. So what are you doing, Cuthbert? So you've been sort of left to sort of rally the civilians, right?
Clearly, I'm going to be. Clearly, I'm going to be rounding up people.
Okay.
That's my job. I'm going to be rounding. I'm going to be basically going to every single orphanage, school, hospital, or any other place where people are going to congregate, and I'm going to get them. Well, they need to clearly a parade. Needs an audience.
Yes.
So I'm going to basically be going to corral as many people through naturally honeyed words and charisma. Not forcing them at all.
No.
Because that would be the wrong thing to do.
It would be the wrong
to
thing
convince them. And I know that the parade's next week.
Yes. You're getting them in
I'm
early.
getting them in now.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense, because we need to have several dry runs.
Right.
There's also probably quite a queue at the orphanage. There's a lot of people.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's getting overcrowded. It's better to have them on the streets
I
than
mean,
in the orphanage.
Exactly. So it's the
Yeah.
entire
Yeah, this is
time,
definitely the afternoon.
I need
Yeah.
to get the streets lined with as many people as possible. They don't have to stay there the entire time. They can go, maybe like 10 minutes break here and there.
Yeah, they're on shifts.
Exactly, on
yeah.
shifts. But I need to have at least 90% of the entire population lining the streets at any time possible.
Okay, brilliant. So let's go for being nice to
Yeah.
civilians.
So I'm literally going to be marching down as like,
You stand here, looking good, thank you.
and just like literally, that's what
Beautiful.
I'm going
I
for.
love that. Are you rolling a d20?
I am rolling my d20. This
Fab.
can only go perfectly.
Come on.
There is no. Basically, we either want a 1 or a 20. Let's be totally honest.
Absolutely.
18.
18.
That's still bad.
It's still dire. It's still dire.
Yeah, success with dire collateral. It's let's do like a supercut montage essentially of you sort of like you're putting people in there. People are like, oh, but I want my
No, you stand there.
yeah, my legs. It gets to a point you're quite forceful.
You're too tall.
Yeah. And so weirdly it becomes almost like a forest of cut down trees of various different heights.
Bending people to fit in like something I tell
Yeah.
There's a gap here.
You are the right size to fit in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Do not move. Do.
Yeah. So you play your own very human Tetris, essentially, going down the streets. It takes you, I would say, the whole afternoon. All this takes you a whole afternoon of stuff. It looks pretty horrific.
It's fine.
It's very much like it's like Salvador Dali, but it's the melting clocks thing as well. There's people like, help me, like screaming, and there's like fires in the distance. It looks very desolate, but you're like, the crowd is not going anywhere.
Hello, well done. You're all marvellous. You really are. Well done, everybody. Congratulations. You look fantastic. Oh, would you mind putting the arm back in? No, I'll just remove it. I'll just put it over there.
Just remove the bone.
Yes.
It's protruding. Just take it out.
Smile a bit. Could you smile a bit more? Why are they not smiling as much? This is
They're
not
definitely
right.
grimacing. Like.
Perfect. Hold that. We'll be along in about 3 days.
Kill me.
Oh, this is dark.
I like that we keep saying that parts of the town are still on fire and stuff. Like, we made no effort whatsoever to actually fix the town.
No, that wasn't our job. Our job is to do a statue and to have a festival.
We needed a parade and a statue.
So I guess after this you sort of congregate, say, the next day. You're at the town hall, and as we sort of maybe mentioned, significantly fewer people in here than previous.
Loads outside.
Yes, you have the technobishops sort of there going like bobbing their heads. You can see they've got their own Beat headphones going on like that, and then
I've still got mine on as well.
Yeah. Weirdly, during the night they sort of ingratiated you into it.
You are now in the Techno Bishop Hive.
Yep. Yeah, you are one.
I'm into it.
And then the executioner is also there with their side blade. And I said, well, you've done quite a lot of thank you. The statue looks incredible. I hear preparations for the festival have started, which is great. We are few, but we can help in some way, I guess. There's less of us to help around today. But so far, we understand you've got the statue, which is good because that is the sort of pinnacle focal point. But there's no what would be the draw to the festival? It's the Eternal King Festival, so you need some more draw. Maybe repair some of the streets, perhaps make sure it looks nice. Activities,
Fireworks.
yes. I'm sure I'm sure we can look into the explosives cave, perhaps.
I take out my gun and just fire it into the air through the roof. Gun salute.
It's violent, so it automatically succeeds. It's like as the roof falls
It's
down.
like plaster just falls down and smacks upon your armour and you don't pay.
It crushes like 2 more people.
I use my ancient god pistol as well. So
Yeah.
these ridiculous exploding bullets that just come out like mini meteors.
Exactly.
What is this gun designed to kill?
Also,
Ceiling.
also, in connection with fireworks, how we want to get people to a festival, how will they know about festival? Skywriting.
Yes, yeah, because obviously I know your superiors are arriving, so yeah, I guess some sort of communications to the outside of the planet.
Jetpack. Skywriting.
Great, we'll let you get on with that.
Da.
Great.
I do that.
So fireworks, skywriting, major.
I'm thinking, someone did mention to me that large parts of this town are still on fire.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
I feel like
some more bits now, actually.
Yeah, we see it as
Those
a
are coming
feature,
down
not
somewhere.
a glitch.
okay, so we're happy with that.
Well, I mean, we'd like it to be less on fire. I mean, and then you can see they point. There's like a small person, a small sort of child putting it like, "Welcome to this village," whose name I've not made yet, and it says last day since fire. It's still like still 0.
But the population count is just steadily ticking down.
Oh yeah, like
Population 17,000, 16,900, 16,000.
yeah. And you can see the graph is like it jumped down quite a bit.
What was your suggestion?
Yes, sorry.
Well, I need a small cadre of volunteers, and I need them to meet me at the tallest building in town.
This can only end perfectly.
So what are you doing to recruit your volunteers to come with you?
Oh, I just told this to the person in front of me, and I'm expecting them to turn up.
Sure. Let's go for impressing civilians because I feel like you're going to impress them into the ground
4.
or something. 4.
4 on a D20.
Oh.
Mostly failure, but some success. You sort of point to that person, which was like the hive, and they all just split apart. Going,
And one dude.
one person who wasn't paying attention has got getting their walk out. Like, sorry.
Yes.
So you have one volunteer.
Right. Yes, to the tallest building in town.
Right.
Yes, I will use my grappling gun to launch myself to the top of the building
Yes.
and identify the most important fires to put out, and I will yell down instructions to you.
Okay. Sorry. Do you want me to be in the fires?
No, I want you to put the fires out.
Oh, I see. Sure. Okay. I will do this for you, Major. Okay. The Emperor.
Yes, for the Emperor. Not for me, obviously. I would never take the Emperor's credit.
Great. Cool. So yeah, so you're at the top there. I think you are. So I'll give you a choice, Major Tom. You could either be gathering information on where the fires are, or you could be building and repairing things. Because I assume you're not doing anything with the civilians, really. The one civilian.
One guy just
One guy
running
running
around
around
to put out fires. Buckets of sand.
Oh God!
I've seen so much.
Sounds like
Is
a
that
gathering
they still have
installation.
skeletons attached to them for some reason?
I've got my higher roll on building and repairing, so let's go with that.
Building and repairing. Yes.
1!
You get to it looks very impressive, your Brad Pitt exterior, and you go there, and you point at I don't know, like just the biggest fire, which is
That
just
one needs to go first.
yeah, it's the fire factory, and the person
Why are they still working?
and the person goes okay, runs into it, and that's it. It's almost like as Nick burns.
He was the one that had
To be
too
fair,
much
it was
confidence.
it was a terrible failure. She probably brings like several people along with it in like a diamond formation.
Yeah. So you've increased the fire.
And the population ticks down some more.
Yeah, you go back. Yep.
Right.
What I will say, because technically you were feeling some sort of an emotion at this point. It's sort of bubbling up inside you. I'll let you roll your d10 for sadness.
Okay.
3.
3. Mostly failure. So a couple of people go, oh no, that's too hot. So you don't have all of them going as a result. So it's not a complete, you don't waste a whole town's worth of people. So they're like, what do you want us to do? It's very hot down here.
Right, I suppose I should do this myself. I shall get myself over there quickly by liberal use of the grapnel cannon.
Yep. Yep, you go over to the
Launch myself
you
down.
go to the fire factory, yep.
Yep. Now,
leaving grappling hooked holes in walls.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yep.
Just Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man, Batman, yeah.
But nothing gets dissolved. It's literally just like going to be like a cross web of these
Yeah.
grapple guns everywhere.
If anything, you land and you go, ha, and you like release your weapon. Yeah, the big clock tower. You're in the centre of it as it falls down.
Which gives me an idea. Fire doesn't work well. There's lots of rock on it, right? That smothers it out.
You
Fire can't go through doors. It's not a ghost.
Bloody space fire. Yes.
I'm thinking I'll use the grapple to pull down the more higher parts of the building to flatten, to go on top of the fire.
Yeah.
In order, I'm assuming this is made of like brick or something.
Yeah, it is.
Something that's not flammable.
Yeah.
I assume.
And I'm going to trap that onto the fire in an effort to smother it out.
Smother it out. Perfect. I think that is lifting heavy objects, or more like pulling heavy objects down. So I'll let you do that. Go for it.
That's number 1.
10.
10.
Oh.
Success with
Why
minor
not?
collateral.
Well, we're not the minor collateral.
Yeah.
No buildings above 3 stories.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, you manage to you get them down, and it works. Yeah, amazing. It doesn't get them all out, and like you can't only get like you take some buildings like shops out, and it sort of teeters on like almost like a Jenga-esque type of building. But yes, you think you've done a solid job of putting out these fires.
We don't want all of them out. We might need more for sculpting purposes.
Yeah. I'll leave a couple of carefully curated ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's like very artistic.
The fire factory is still going strong.
Yeah.
So you've always got that.
The biggest building in town. There's nothing big enough to squash it.
First established when you guys arrived.
Yes, we're improving the city's economy there. Excellent, fantastic.
Yeah, carbon monoxide and dioxide in the air.
I love the smell of burning in the morning.
It's good for s'mores, stuff.
Meanwhile, we'll go to you, Reggie. What are you planning?
What am I planning? Oh, I should have been thinking about that. I need to get a parade float for the statue.
You do.
That's my number 1 task.
Okay, so you and Commander are going to work together on this,
Yes.
perhaps. So, Commander, what are you thinking at this point?
I'm happy to help with the effort to get a parade float for the statue.
We need some wheels or something we can drag.
Why would we use wheels when could use grav car? Have you seen those things?
Aren't they a little unreliable?
They are so cool.
I mean, okay, but
They are so cool.
sure,
We use it.
okay. You know how I assume.
Yeah.
So you go to the graveyard, scrapyard.
Which is called the graveyard.
Yeah, graveyard, scrapyard. I can't even say it.
It's like graveyard. But
Yeah, I got it.
Well, you don't understand humor, so.
And you...
Sorry, your character.
And you both sort of arrive there, and you see like a very tall man in a leather coat with sort of a thing. He's like, oh, hello! Oh, yes, you're here for the challenge, right? Excellent. Well, your job...
What is this town?
Is this yet again? Is this another TV program I'm unaware of?
Maybe.
The Scrapyard Challenge?
Yes, it is.
Is Robert Llewellyn?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we're all on board.
Oh, I don't know this one, but that's fine.
Okay, so you've got, and it points to another team of civilians who are desperately trying to build something. It doesn't look like a float, though.
How dare they?
It looks like an escape pod of some description.
How double dare
And it
they?
says, well, you've come at the right time. You see, your competitors are getting ahead of you. So if you wish to build, you take a look at what you get, and you can see there's various bits of grab cars left. There's odd different things. You've got like washing machines, ovens, an auger, all sorts of things. So
Wish I had that for my other floor.
They're trying to do a rival parade? Competitors?
Oi, you. Does not look like float.
no, it's not a float. No.
Then make it float.
It will float in space.
No, it's for parade.
This is the moment that they are competitors. We can't succeed unless they fail.
There can only be one winner in
I'll
Graveyard Challenge.
I'm going to find the biggest thing in here
Oh no.
and throw it.
I mean, that's violence.
It is violence. You succeed.
Now they failed.
Yeah.
We succeed by default.
Now you help us build float, huh?
Oh, well, I'm more of a... Well, what do you need from me?
Float.
Right. I can't do that.
Why not?
because I'm a human, possibly.
No, you don't. You do not float yourself unless
Well, I
on
don't have-
Grafcar.
Well, I don't have the, and you can see actually now you look at him, even though he's wearing his leather coat, underneath there's definitely some steel bits and pieces. So he doesn't look completely humanoid.
It's okay. We accept all types. So, Grafcar.
Oh, I've
But-
got different attachments for that sort of.
Is he now Crichton with his?
Yeah, switching back and forth.
So we need Grafcar. We need 2 Grafcar, because we have citizen group here needs a project
Oh,
now
yes,
that
the parade.
we
yes.
have. Yes. Now we have taken their project away, so they need something else to do. So
The survivors.
There's one
We-
person.
Crawling out the wreckage.
The survivors will be given lucrative employment.
Or death.
So we need 2 float. Float 1 for statue. What parameters do we need?
Big.
You heard. We need big.
Big float. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So we need big float to hold statue.
Okay.
It's very good statue. I have seen it. There are like 20 statues on it.
Oh.
20 like dead body gold. It's the whole thing.
Mm.
And then other float.
Are you okay, Commander?
Other float is game float.
Game float. Ah.
Game
yes.
float for
Mhm.
activities.
Right.
So you know it's going down the street there.
Yep.
And we have the float where you know the statue is. Everyone just looking at it. We have the statue. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying statue. We have the
Commander,
float.
are you okay?
You just don't understand grab cars.
I don't understand the graph cars. Sorry. So we have float. That is for looking. The statue. There.
Yep.
And then we have float, not statue. That is for eating. Da. We have the
Biscuit cannon.
biscuits. Biscuit cannon. You have not heard about this yet. You will. Is brilliant.
Right.
And then we have third float.
Mm-hmm.
Is activity float.
Right. So you're going statue, food, activity.
That's all you need in a parade. Da.
Yeah. I always say freeze a festival.
3 is magic number.
Yes, absolutely. Great. Well, we can definitely help with what we read. Come on, it's what it's called grab car challenge. As a result, pulls him out. So yeah, you've got
Just
2
half
people.
of them. Just the
Yeah, like
This town of Game Show Apocalypse, very strange.
so.
game
Yes.
show apocalypse. Yep, there.
So yeah, so they will help under some duress. I would just to create these floats. So what are you doing? Because I would like you to do some roles essentially. What are you doing to help create these floats? Would you say? Like I know obviously we've got lifting heavy objects, but also like I'm just thinking building. It could be
Building.
nicer to civilians. Like that's okay. It needs to float higher. Just constructive feedback, you know, that sort of thing.
I mean, building and repairing makes sense.
You can do that.
Do you want me to go for it?
You both.
I'm
you
very
can-
confident.
It's better if you do it.
Yeah, you're gone. So you're there. Let's say you're working on the. Let's say you're working on the statue float, because obviously that's one you're familiar with. You know exactly how big the statue is.
I've got to make a plinth and reinforce it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think gold is heavy. I don't know.
We'll find out.
14.
14. It's a success with dire collateral. Robert Llewellyn gets to be part of the statue. We're just reabsorbing people into it. So the float looks good. If anything, what happens is that you get the grab cart. It is floating, but it's still a bit wonky. So you get Robert Llewellyn and the person you've pulled from the thing to hold, like almost like Flintstones car style.
And then I weld them inside.
Exactly. So yeah. So,
You part of float now.
oh, this is a minor inconvenience. So yeah, so they can carry the thing for you. So that's that float done. But we've got a bit of the float. You've got the sort of the oven of the sort of heart of the food float. We've also got the activity float. Which one would you like to work on? And then we can say the last one you work on it together.
Well, I've done the food flow I did yesterday, didn't it?
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to make it bigger. I wasn't sure if it's just
Cool.
it's very
Yeah, it needs
small compared to the
It's
others.
very big. You need to have a bigger food float.
Okay, well.
I mean, have you seen the crowd that I've gathered for you? They all need feeding.
Yes, biscuit cannon. What more you need?
More biscuit cannons.
Or you can,
Diversify, burrito cannon,
Burrito bombs.
cupcake cannon.
or I could give you. You can search for more grab car clamps and put it on them, so it will turn around and sort of fire them like this. Yeah,
Like a biscuit cannon turret.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I can let you do that if you like.
I like this idea.
Fine, let's do building and repairing items please. With a D10 as well,
because
that's
it's a graph car. Yeah.
All right, got my D8 and my D10.
Let's do it.
An 8 is higher than a 1.
Oh, yeah. So success with minor collateral. You think that it will work? Just don't press it too high. Yeah, exactly.
Murder death cannons.
Yeah, it's like, oh, biscuit goodness, no. All right, and then
Death by Oreo.
Frozen because it made them eat ice cream with it.
that's true. Yeah, look at that callback. So the final float is an activities float. So what activities do you think would go on this float? I'll leave it to you two.
Pin the tail on the donkey.
Okay.
Nothing says festival about the Eternal King as pin the tail on the donkey.
And a pinata.
I mean,
Clearly, that makes it.
Wait, a pinata. We have to get on the float to do the activities.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You pull people from crowds, they go up on float, and then, they mix, they mingle, they get pin on them, on donkey, and then they go back down, and they have had a chance to stretch their legs. They've probably been standing there for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I'm not bad, but yes.
We could combine resources and have a baking station so they can make the biscuits to put in the biscuit cannon so that it looks like fun, but really it's work.
wow. It's so meta, I can't believe it.
I like this plan. Oh, and we can have all the star bakers from yesterday that I met. They're very okay people. And they can be the instructors for anyone who wants to come bake. They can provide recipes and guidance and soggy bottom, you're like him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what's about? It's only one float. So, keep it simple, keep it safe.
Sure, baking
One
station and
activity.
pin the tail on the donkey.
No. We
Okay.
have the food float. We have the activity float.
Yeah.
Instead of having pin the tail on donkey and pinata,
Yeah.
pin the tail on pinata.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So we have crane.
Yep.
Have string, hanging down, pinata.
Okay.
Wee, 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 wee.
Wee.
It is competitive. One person has stick, one person has tail.
Both have blindfolds.
Both have blindfolds. Who will
2
get
civilian
it first?
enters, only one may leave. Welcome to the Pinata Dome.
The question is, does person break open pinata first, or does person pin tail on first?
What happens if the person breaks open the other? No, never mind.
Oh, I thought they'd have to hold the pinata and hit the tail into the. I was putting too many steps. I was coming at it from a hammer and nail point of view.
That seems like it would be like cooperating. We want competitive.
When you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
When you're a ham. That is nice Marines for you. Okay, I feel like from your market research, I think you've gained a lot of this. I want you to do holding a parade for me. I know you're not holding parade, but you're visualizing it. And for Reggie, I would like you're sort of putting it, you're trying to translate that vision into stuff. So I'd say probably let's go for rebuilding and repairing.
We've got 2 D20s on the table right
Yes. Let's do it.
3.
4.
Wow, we were bad at this.
All right, mostly failure, but some success. You know how you were saying pin the tail on the piano. You don't have a pinata. You just find bits of a civilian. they'll do it.
That's the solution to everything.
Yeah, and you just basically you combine various activities. So maybe it's like hook a civilian or all that sort of thing. But you time it pin the tail on the heretic. That's and all this sort of you have maybe the balls that you throw, and if you get one, you get here's the hand of a heretic, all that sort of thing. It's a very gruesome sideshow of various things, and yeah, the top prize is just a heretic. Oh, it's like, help! But yes, you've got your ghoulish sort of sideshow. I mean, it looks great, I guess.
To us.
To us. What I will say, they are incredibly slow. Like even with your biscuit sort of turret goes very fast, but all three of these things are very slick. They're very, very heavy. You've put a lot of things into it, so you need some way. Even though the grab stuff is working, it's hovering, but to get it along, you need some sort of force, some sort of motion, I would say.
Does town have big animals?
Town has a few people left.
They can pull.
Yes.
Or is pushing easier? Which do you prefer? I am generous.
Are you talking to Robert Llewellyn?
Yeah. He's welded inside.
I'm talking to whoever is left. I'm doing some market research to be like, which is better for you, pushing or pulling?
Well, I mean, I like to go at my own pace myself. I mean, I think it's if I'm pulling, it's bad for the back. If you're pushing, it depends on how heavy it is.
So some of you push, some of you pull.
Yeah, if you recruit us, yeah.
Yeah.
You need us for the festival, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Tie ropes. You are.
Idea.
Okay.
Combine efforts.
Hammer.
We want firework display. Fireworks create bang. We need rockets for parade. If launch from back of parade, we'll propel forward.
Sounds good.
This is a plan with literally no drawbacks.
Yeah. We'll leave it to our most capable person. So, Cuthbert,
Hello.
you are
Right.
How are you making these fireworks?
Now, obviously, rockets, very good at making things explode, not a problem at all. I'm pretty certain we've got a load of ordnance left over from when we liberated this poor town. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
I am going to go and get as many of those rockets as possible.
Okay.
I'm going to try and replace the warheads with paint.
Okay.
We probably don't have much paint, but there's lots of red stuff all over the place. So, replacing the warheads with blood buckets.
Yes.
So when they explode, blood all over the sky, but it looks amazing because, you can't tell that it's blood because it's like way up there. So rockets, blood. And I've heard what Straight Jacket over there has said. So it clearly needs me to mount these to the back of the grav cars.
I forgot that was my thing.
To shoot the grav cars as fast as possible, then we need to come up with a thing that releases them at just the right moment.
Okay.
So the rockets can go up into the sky. Of course, we got that wrong. Terrible, what we did. But it'll be fine.
Yes.
Because the rockets will go straight up and release at the right moment and up in the sky and beautiful red everywhere.
Yes.
We might have a bit of molten gold if you want to mix it in.
I'm liking this plan,
Yeah,
Major.
there's some left over.
I'm
yeah.
liking this plan. Molten gold
Wait.
and blood cannot possibly go wrong.
Do we need to change name then? Steel Irons of Golden Blood.
Ooh.
All those in favour? Motion carried. If that's okay with you, Major?
All right.
It's fine.
Excellent.
I'm in.
Golden blood. So yes, okay. I would say you get very little help from this purely because people are running away from you at this point.
I have no idea why. Hello! Hello! Oh, let me put the...
Stop there!
Be nice to citizens for me, please.
Cocked.
Yep.
With maybe some catastrophic... No, so dire consequences. That's a 17.
Ooh, successful dire consequences. They stop immediately.
Excellent! Come back here!
Yeah, they start with fight and you're like, great. Actually, they're full of blood.
Stand still while I cut you.
You get the Syax out, yeah. blood.
This seems to be the right amount of blood. Fantastic.
You spend a good afternoon harvesting.
To be fair, that was one of the blood left over from yesterday as well.
Yeah, you're starting to wade through it. It's going over your ankles a little bit, and you come. Yeah, so you've got enough buckets full of paint.
Mm-hmm. Paint. We'll call it paint from here on. Paint from here on in. Otherwise,
Blood and gold.
the civilian peoples might be a little bit worried.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll just call it paint.
Wink. Yes, absolutely.
It's color change paint. You put on red, dries brown.
Has a wonderful smell.
Brown's a really bad idea for a firework. Might have to do this a little bit closer to the time as well to make sure it's nice and fresh. But it's okay. We'll have brown and red and gold. Fantastic. Well done, Commander. Well done indeed, yes.
So, what are you looking for in terms of stuff to get rockets? So you say you found rockets and you want to
We
replace...
must have plenty of rockets left over from when we liberated this place.
Yes, there's a couple of abandoned...
What?
This is
suddenly realised, I've only just realised you were going to use our actual rockets as well.
Obviously. What else are you going to use?
It's not like the village had them, let's be honest.
If they had rockets, we wouldn't have been able to liberate them so easily. Honestly, Private. Oh, God.
Yeah, there's definitely some abandoned vehicles, space vehicles that have been left. Like leave it behind. There's plenty back up.
Oh, fantastic! I can see quite a few of those multiple rocket launchers over there.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
So
This cannot possibly go wrong.
no, it can't.
And I'm amazing at building and repairing things.
That's what I was going to ask you to do. So you're doing like sugar and spice and all things nice, trying to put them in together.
What is the definition of it? Is it mildly confident?
Practiced. So you were
Practiced.
like,
I've made stuff before. I mean, I'm pretty certain I made one of these rockets. Oh no, that one flew. That one wasn't mine. So.
That one just has my name written on it for some reason.
yeah. Out there's always a rocket with your name on it.
Yeah. This one's to Sergeant Deathblow with love from Private Straight. I can't read the rest of that. Oh well.
I'm sure I don't know them.
There we go.
Oh, a natural one. Okay. Yeah, here are.
Yep.
Definitely
Rockets to propel those grav cars with no problems whatsoever.
And you know what? For convenience, you've got it all up to one fuse. All these rockets. You make it easier on yourself.
Which I shall let the Major light at his leisure, of course.
It's also important to note that we have attached these rockets to the last car in the float, which is the entertainment car. Where the people are going to be.
It's going to work perfectly.
All right, team. It is the day of the festival. We fast forward a little bit just because I think these things were taking time, but it's a montage. You can see various citizens are putting up posters and stuff and then getting squashed into it as you're barging past them. Maybe you're trying to put out some more fires, Major Tom, and when more fires appear.
Yeah.
I think maybe we've realised that we have to tidy up the town a little bit.
Oh yeah, I've definitely been fixing the road, I think, a little bit to make sure that everything's nice and smooth.
It looks great now.
Yeah.
You got rid of all those potholes using civilians.
I know. Nice and smooth.
And where I've pulled down these buildings to put the fires out, I'm trying to get it nice and flat so people can put up their tents and stuff when they arrive.
For the houses.
Yeah. We've destroyed the houses, but it's a nice level area for them to put up their emergency shelters.
Yeah. And now they can just have so many orphanages.
I know.
Yeah.
Plenty of spaces.
There are,
Taking down all these pesky office buildings, and look, orphanages everywhere.
So the day comes, and you can hear from the sky that as a massive warship comes. Small shuttles so everyone gets ready, the four of you and maybe whoever's left in terms of
I mean, how many people are left, be honest? We started with 18,000. How many people are left for this?
Just roll a d20.
Should we roll a protecting citizens maybe?
Oh yeah, that's good. Yes, you know what, no, tell you what, let's everyone do that because no one's done that. So yeah, so what does everyone have for protecting
I've got a
citizens?
d12.
I have a D6.
D6?
8. I got a 4.
8 and 4, so you got 4. So mostly failure.
3.
Mostly failure.
2.
Mostly failure.
3.
3.
Any of the success?
No success at all.
Some success.
Wow.
Some success for Major Tom.
What did you
So
get?
no,
sorry?
all of you. So all of you.
4.
Yeah. So everyone got
No, we all got failure then.
Minor success.
mostly
We
failure.
all got
mostly
mostly failure
failures.
with a minor success.
Yes.
Minor success. There are some.
So how many of the
civilians left
18,000
alive.
are there left, GM?
Sure. So there's the 4 of you.
Yep.
There is 1 techno bishop
Yep.
and half an executioner.
What about anybody else?
No one else. Even the orphans.
The orphanages are...
I just want to say, there's 2 techno bishops.
My bad.
I'm still into it.
Okay.
This whole week.
What about the people inside that we've welded into the cars?
And the people who are lining the parade route.
Yes.
And the people in the statue.
Sorry.
Are the people lining the parade route still alive?
Don't get me wrong, right? You guys are the only ones greeting the
Oh, right,
thing
okay.
coming down. The thing stopped going down. It's actually stuck at this point because it was going for.
Yeah.
There was some semblance of life.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Life in the most inverted of commas possible.
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Life needs things to live.
Needs things to live. Yes, the ship comes down and as the sort of steam rolls out, and out a huge space marine who you'd all know as your vast superior. He waits for everyone to do that, thank you. And then does their own salute, which they've definitely not thought of in the last 2 seconds.
Perfect.
Love it.
So cool.
They're so cool.
He is so amazing.
They're the coolest.
And you sort of hear like a...
Show me the festival as you have planned it, my brothers.
We all just look, and I hand reverently the ignition to Major Tom.
Am I just going to stand here? The civilians on the entertainment car have been chained there because they kept leaving. So like we had to make sure, like, just pay. Just
Also, I think that basically, surely the parade is basically heading towards this super cool dude. So it's literally they're there, and the parade's going to be just slowly heading
coming towards us. Yeah, we're at the plinth where the statue.
Yeah, we're basically here. So the plinth is here.
Yep.
Where we're going to put the statue, and the moment our boss, Major Cool Dude,
Yes.
is standing right behind the plinth. So clearly he'll have a perfect view for when the rockets slowly push along and then arrive as the rockets shoot up right in front of him. He's already in a prime position to watch this perfect display of pyrotechnics.
I mean, we have to wait till I watch it back, but I'm pretty sure we did everything quite badly. So like the biscuit cannon is very temperamental. the fireworks thing is not great.
The fireworks was perfect. There was
statue's
absolutely
really
no
good.
problem. The statue is pretty good, yeah. But the firework itself, nothing can go wrong with that. It was perfectly done.
All right, so yes,
Okay.
you position your superior like just here.
Excellent.
Sort of stands like this.
Okay, so I've got the ignition button.
Mm-hmm.
I call down to whoever's in charge on the float. So Major Tom to ground control.
Hey!
What?
I press the button.
You press the button.
Just some random civilian who's got a headset on. It's just tied to the front of the thing, like they're driving it. Like, what? They're not actually doing anything.
Yeah, their hands are welded to the wheel.
They have no control.
It's not connected to anything.
It's purely symbolic.
Completely superfluous, yeah.
I like the idea that you incorporated quite a lot of civilians into these floats.
Want them to feel special.
Even though there's the floating grab thing, every so often would dip down. So you have the sort of the rolling citizens underneath, like tire tracks essentially. And then you press the button. So
Describe it, Fiona. Describe what we did.
everything goes into slow motion. And if this was a film, there would be a soundtrack of classical music, which sort of goes do 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 ba 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 do 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 as the fuse goes very crudely into I don't know a lot of wires. I don't know. Oh, I'm inspired. It goes up and then do 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 boo do 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 do, and as you see the citizens going.
Taping the tail.
On the tail on the heretic. I'm like, no! As they're getting bashed by each other. Like the in the pinata style, the piece of wood is attached to their hands, and they're trying to get it off, and they're just hitting each other.
Yeah, ironically,
But
hit
in
everything
slow
but the
motion.
heretic.
It starts jolting forward as it increases in speed. The civilians underneath us tracks, and it cracks into the baking thing, which starts to go off like do 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 do. Each of the civilians that are like sort of dead trees are like. One gets it full in the eyes, the other gets in the mouth, and all shortbreads of all various descriptions. That one's just a bag of sugar, I don't know.
Ran out of stuff, just chuck anything in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they're going so fast, they're just like throwing everything they can in there.
they throw the ingredients in there, and then
Brian.
Janice goes in. So you get the entertainment float into the baking float, and then goes into the golden statue float. And again, so you could just see going back to the do 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 as suddenly the statue is roaring straight ahead.
I'm assuming we're all standing next to him at the moment.
Oh, you are,
Yeah.
and then you conveniently take a step sideways. And he goes, what the? And you hits, and then starts to go up. All three floats into the sky. Ba, 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 da 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 da. illusion. As you all look up, you don't see where your superior goes. And suddenly it starts to rain. Beautiful gold and red flecked blood all over you. You hear crying in the distance of various similar, and it's suddenly as all these limbs. I want everyone to roll for me. First of all, roll holding a parade. See how well you think that went.
1 on the D20. Oh my god. That tracks.
Yeah. Well, there's no need to describe. That's fine. But then I want...
So we're all very aware this was a terrible thing.
Now we are, yes.
But Commander most of all, I think. I think let's go for our sort of final role is protecting citizens. As you realise, looking up, more and more things start to fall from the skies onto you. So you're more likely protecting yourselves, but you're like, protect citizens, and try and get out the way. So roll protecting citizens.
Are we all doing this?
Yes,
2.
please. 2.
6.
3.
6. Success.
12.
12. Success. Dire collateral. So Commander, you go, and you start to back up. Maybe you get into
It's
the
because
ship.
I knew it was a failure.
Yeah, you're like, you back up into the ship, so you are safe from the debris. You're like, cuff, but you're like, and you can see your two fins, and you're like, for the Emperor. You push them together, and then you get back in the ship, and you're sort of both together, and you look up as the statue.
I hug him.
Yes. Your lights work.
I burst into tears.
Yeah.
He understands sadness!
And I found love.
And you understand love!
And Finn. Hey! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that was, before we end, that was Nice Marines. That was by Grant Howitt.
I really want
We
Nice
were
Marines.
They were Nice Marines. You could get that on his Patreon. You can check it on Rowan Rook and Descartes. Go try it out. It's an hour, 2 hours, however long we were playing Nice Marines. And just have fun with role-playing games. Thank you so much, my wonderful players. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, thank you so much for
Just
it.
Thank you, Fiona, yes.
Thanks, babes.
Yes, thank you, Fiona. That was wonderful. Yeah, no. Like and subscribe. We'd love to do more than this. We can't currently afford to do this every week, but it would be amazing if we could do this every. Not this exact game. Maybe I would play this exact game every week. It's pretty fun. But yeah, we'd love to be able to do this more. So if just like and subscribe to this channel. Any other links? This might come out somewhere in the future zone. I'm not sure how far. So some things may have changed between now.
Yeah, but they'll be watching it in the present.
In the present.
So
But
Will
between
be in the
now,
past.
between now and this recording and this recording going out, things might have changed. So maybe just check the description and the links below, or maybe I'll have a little cheeky outro that I record then when I actually know.
Hello, future Kristian.
hi, Future Kristian.
Future Kristian may cut in now. But yeah, no, like and subscribe. And yeah, thanks very much. Thanks to Fiona playing. Thanks for everyone for joining me.
Let's wave awkwardly at the camera. Do our salutes. If you've
Wow,
not
ruined
broken anything.
everything. Now that's
Yeah,
the whole
that's it,
recording
it's
shot.
gone.
Dropped his
All right.
mic pack on the floor.
We're playing Nice Marines. Let's wave awkwardly at the camera as we say goodbye once you've...